Hello and welcome to Week 5 Sandhills coverage. My name is Eli, joined alongside me, as always, is Chris. Today we have a ton of awesome matches for you. We've got the best match of each game. We're doing all 4 games today. We're getting really close to the conference championship. This is kind of a lot of teams' last chance to really cement their spot on the leaderboard. If you're already qualified for the conference championship, you still want to win and give yourself a better seed so that you have a bit easier time going into those matches. And then obviously to win that could qualify you for the state championship. We've also got a wild card weekend coming up as well. So much exciting stuff on the horizon for us, and I just can't wait to get into it. Chris, how are you feeling about everything we got going on today?
I'm excited. As you said, we get to see each one of games today, some of the best that we have, and seeing how these teams will stack up. We have some teams that are at the top of the leaderboard and some that we're going to see that, will have to win their games to make sure that they can make it to the conference championship. So lots on the line this week. I'm really excited.
Yes, it is going to be a very exciting week ahead and a lot of fun matches to look at today. But before we jump into that, let's take a look at a video from the STEM side of things. Dante White wants to talk to you about his experience with VESL.
Like I said, I had a Windows 98 that was like, oh yeah, we got Adobe Flash and that's it. You want World of Warcraft? No, but we can probably give you Wizard 101. But I'm excited, because they've been talking to me about STEM projects, and this can run Unreal Engine 5. Dante White, and I grew up in a forest mostly. For about the first 8 years of my life, we lived in what we called it the bottom, because the entire area was encroached by trees. We had a lot of natural growing things there, berries, tomatoes, lettuce. It was good. So I was outside a lot for most of my early life. The first time I really got into using electronics and stuff like that, my brother got a PlayStation 2 with him and his uncle, and then like at school we would go on like computer lab, and that's when I got started getting into like the Flash stuff around the 2010s, 2015 Newgrounds, and I liked it. I really did. I've been here for about, I guess, a month, because I joined like when they came for the launch room and introduced everyone, and I participated in a tournament. I had fun. It was my first time doing something like esports related instead of just watching on TV. I really like music as a hobby. I've been trying to make music, and I think I could use this to use better software, because the GPU won't overheat and then explode in my face. I'm thinking about going to college to get a engineer's degree, start building robotics and stuff like that, maybe get into AI. They're really supportive, they're trying to help out, and they really want to get people there, and they make you feel included. It's a really outgoing community, and I think VESL's doing a great job of being good to new people and old people. You have a good platform for people who are like probably busy or doing other stuff, because it is just hop in, talk, play, and hop out.
All right. Always love to hear from Dante White and all the awesome stuff that they're doing over there at VESL. Make sure you guys are taking an eye on the VESL Hub server and VGC. There's lots of different contests involved where you can win all kinds of stuff, including a PC, console, any different things are on there. So definitely do not miss out on your opportunity for that. But let's go ahead and get into our first game. Looks like we've got some college football action for you. I know that Chris and I really enjoy watching the college football. Looks like it's going to be JP Knapp Early College versus the North Carolina Virtual Academy. And both these teams right now are 3-1 coming into this match. So both pretty comfortably going to qualify. But the thing is, whichever team wins this will almost certainly have a better seed going into the conference championship. So this is a really important match, Chris.
It is, and as you said, that seeding can make all the difference, but also these teams are pretty similar. We'll have to see how they score against each other, who lets the most points in, because those point differences will be the tiebreakers as well if somehow they end up being tied after week 6. So we'll have to see how they both play out versus each other.
Yeah, every single point matters at this stage. The tiebreakers will certainly come into play in at least one of these games. So let's go ahead and jump into our match. Always interesting to see what teams these players are playing for. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter a whole lot. We are playing with the rules where we have even teams, so there's no stat advantage from one team or another. But there's certainly some favorites. You know, a lot of these players picking some of the best college teams to ever do it. Or, you know, I think it would be better to just pick a team that you like. You know what I mean? They don't have a stat advantage over one another, so you might as well.
We do see Alabama. Oh, so we're actually seeing Texas. We haven't seen much of Texas. Still a very popular team, but Alabama, I'm pretty sure we see at least once every week as well. Very popular team just in general. A lot of Ohio State, but this time we will see the Texas Longhorns coming out. So we do have JP Knapp will be the home team, so they will have the home advantage. NC Virtual Academy. Oh, it looks like they're actually playing on UTEP's field though, so someone decided to pick the University of Texas El Paso. I like that there as well. It's a nice little stadium, so we get the mix up of the stadium as well, so pretty cool.
All right, well, it looks like we will start with the ball in the hands of JP Knapp. It's going to start on the 25-yard line. And really curious to see. I mean, like we said, these are two of the top performers in the season so far, both having only lost a single match. So I'm expecting to see both good offense and defense from both these teams. Should be pretty evenly matched as well. And an early pickup of 3 yards, 2nd and 7 for JP Knapp.
Starting out with a quick run play as well. Right after, could possibly swap into audible into a throw, but there it is, the run right down the middle. Not enough to pick up the first down, but 3rd and 1, again, setting up for another quick play though.
Yeah, not much time being taken between these. Looks like they will take a little bit of time during the snap here, or before the snap, in case there's any audibles to be called. And we have a flag. It sounded like it was on the offensive side. Interesting.
So we will see the delay of game coming out. Do you remember with those accelerated clocks on can put you in a little bit of a particular situation if you're not checking that, but we do again seeing some of those audibles, checking out the route options that they have for each of the players coming out of it. Since we do see the home side here, we can see what options they have. They're going to have to get this snap off here though. Oh, and it looks like again, so this time it didn't look like they delayed game, but they're having some, looks like some issues getting the ball out. So 3rd and 11, they have moved back about 10 yards here since they were 3rd and 1. But finally going to get the snap off. There's a great throw, and they're going to get the first down.
Not sure what was going on there. Maybe mom came and knocked on the door, told them dinner's ready, who knows. But regardless, they immediately get the pass off, get that first down. They've made it down the field pretty far. Looks like a run play now, first one we've seen. And we've seen how powerful these plays can be with a nice juke. Gets about 40 extra yards down the field and finally gets taken down.
Gotta thank the AI for some of those blocks as well. Great run, as you saw on those headers there above the players, the juke coming out in perfect timing to get that done. Picked up great yardage, getting them to about the 25-yard line. Another run play here. Not gonna be able to juke after all the defenders there, but good pickup of 4 is gonna get them a little bit down the field. 2nd and 6. We'll have to see what play they go with. A couple of options here picking up. Of course, can go for the run, but do see those running routes as well. But okay.
Oh, that could have been real bad. I was just about to say, it doesn't feel like they've had any problems at all advancing down the field so far. That looked like a potential turnover situation. Fortunately, it's not going to be picked up. And 3rd and 6 now. Seems like whenever they're actually making their play, they're having no issue getting down the field. Should have no issue finding this first down if his prior success is any indication.
Seeing those running routes this time, it did work really well. So they're going to go ahead and pass it off. Found an open lane, able to get the first down, and they are within scoring distance.
It's got to be a little bit frustrating for Virtual Academy right now. It doesn't feel like they're able to read many of these offensive options from JP Knapp. Would like to have a stop here, but it almost feels like a guarantee that this finds the end zone so long as it's not intercepted. And okay, there's going to be an incomplete pass as that one goes a little bit too far wide.
Couldn't convert on the throws. We do see the running plays come back out once again. Those have been kind of the bread and butter, but this time going to get stopped by a great read from the defense. So NC Virtual Academy coming out big on the plays closer to the end zone here, making it a little hard for JP Knapp to find it. So once again, on the 3rd and goal, we do see the running options coming out. Doesn't look like any audibles are going to be swapped in here this time. Waiting for the snap. There it is, dropping back to pass. There it is, and touchdown.
Wow, great play there as they find the zigzag receiver. Going to go immediately for the extra point. No 2-point conversion. Just take the comfortable lead here. Now the pressure goes to Virtual Academy. So honestly, a pretty solid offensive drive. Only a few times was Virtual Academy able to stop it, but never enough to prevent the first down and gradual progress down the field. Virtual Academy now going to have to match that level of offensive prowess if they want to keep themselves in this game.
I do like the 1-point play here. Maybe they did a little research, saw that their opponent was similar to them in score, and maybe thinking that you don't really want to try your luck too much early with those 2-point conversions where it could get you down. But here, as you said, we finally see NC Virtual Academy coming out on offense. Can they match it? Because they will need to get this, a little bit of the trick play.
Oh.
Huge throw down the field, and there it is. Wide open receiver into an instant touchdown. And I was going to say, can they match it? Well, they came out in the first play.
That was insane. One play and have already tied it up. Now that completely changes the complexion of this game. Now the pressure is all on JP Knapp. It's like it took them a lot of plays to find the end zone, and their opponent just does it in one go. So they're going to have to really probably end up scoring on this next drive to start feeling comfortable.
Starting with the run instead of letting it go out. I agreed with both players on their first, allowing the touchback. This time, though, they are going to start around maybe it looks like about the 13-yard line there. We do see the running plays coming out. They're going to set up for a big throw themselves. There it is down the line, but one-man coverage, and it will be intercepted.
Wow. That was not the receiver to go for. That defender was right on top of him the whole time, then finds the catch and does get taken down immediately, so they are pretty far down the field, but that didn't seem to matter too much in the last play that we saw of them on offense, and the double juke to get a first down immediately. How much pressure is Virtual Academy putting on it? Looks like they've been watching some Dreamy videos, if you ask me.
They have. I like this, though. They forced out kind of mind game. They said, okay, we'll do a one play to get a touchdown. It kind of forced JP Knapp to do that play as well. And then, they're going to miss the tackle here. The first down, but a fumble and a recovery.
What?
And he's on his feet, and it allows him to pick up maybe 2 extra yards. We almost saw back-to-back turnovers, but then luck on the side of NC Virtual Academy on that one, able to recover that fumble. Back into a run, maybe a little iffy on that throw play there.
Yeah, the shell shock might still be in effect. That was certainly a scary moment, but everything going right for Virtual Academy so far. Got to be careful, though. This ball can change hands in an instant if you're not paying attention. Going to try to juke their way to that first down line, and they're going to find it. Going to fall forward and guarantee that.
I like this mindset, though. They had a very good throw play, able to convert. Now they're playing a little safer with these runs. Have to be careful with those jukes, since we saw one fumble already. But when you're finding yardage like this, it's pretty good. Going to get pushed back there, but luckily play stops on where the play, ends there and not where the player ends up. So able to pick up 4 there. About just a couple more. They get this first down, they'll be within goal position. But there's a big throw, and we almost saw a twist of fate.
I would be so thankful right now that this pass goes out of bounds, because, man, both of these guys could have found a way to catch this one. Does finally go out. 3rd and 6, so, I mean, very similar territory to JP Knapp's first drive downfield. Handoff. It's not going to work out, though. They're actually going to lose a couple yards, and now put to the test are Virtual Academy. 4th and 9, goals not too far behind it. What do you go for here? Got to go for the field goal.
Again, smart plays, knowing who your opponents are. Getting stopped here at least gives you a little bit of breathing room. on if JP Knapp does score, it's not the highest difference, because if they did not convert here, then they could potentially be down 7. At least it would only be about 4 if they do get scored on here. But again, they did pick up that interception, so they might be feeling good about themselves this time. We will see the touchback. I do like this a lot better. Start at that 25-yard line, take a little bit more time after that turnover from the last drive, that offensive drive that they had, and see if they can get another score.
I think a lot of these players are starting to recognize that the run rarely does better than the touchback as far as field positioning afterwards. So I think rightly so, they're deciding to just opt for the touchback more often than not. Both these teams have done it every single time so far in this game, and I think that does show the adaptation. I mean, it's possible to get past the 25 off of the run play, but it's unlikely. So just take the good odds, take the good field position.
And when we saw two teams just come out blazing on offense, now both of them are starting to blaze on defense here. 3rd and 9. A little bit of a long play here. We'll have to see the throw. Can they find an open receiver? They do find it. Able to find the first down with that stiff arm. Great play there. Didn't have to go for the long, risky throw. Found a short receiver on the short end there. Picked up the first down. That's all they need to keep moving up the field.
Excellent play there to get themselves back into first down territory. How do they play from here? Seems like Alabama and JP Knapp have gone for a good mix of runs and throws. They've kept it a little bit difficult to predict as we do in the first quarter. They will switch sides but maintain their field positioning. And a nice view of the crowd there getting fired up for the Crimson Tide. Want to see this one find the end zone to reclaim that lead.
Moving away. There's a short throw. Finds the receiver. Kind of freaked out the AI a bit there, that little throw. Able to pick up a first down. So again, we see JP Knapp kind of going to the bread and butter on that first offensive drive. The short plays that get him up the field instead of just the one long massive play. I do like this adaptation, not moving into a nice little throw there as well. Again, right down the middle, picking up 5 yards, but again, not putting themselves into a position that they might turn over the ball here. Great run down the middle. Gets the first down, and I like this, moving up the field at a nice steady pace. You're only down by 3 at this point. You don't really have to make those big flashy plays, and it's only the second quarter.
I mean, this is how they've scored their first touchdown, if you'll recall. Only reason that they're losing here is from the turnover. That's a big sack, though, massive. Now 19 to go for the first down, and that was the best defensive play we've seen yet.
We do see these longer routes coming out. We'll have to see if they're trying to convert on the second down or if they'll just try to pick up a couple of yards. There's the throw right down the middle. They do convert, shrugs off one, and finally gets hit, but that's exactly what they wanted to get down the field there. Again, they are just moving up at a great pace right now, and the end zone is in sight for them.
Yeah, taking a look at the team offense graphic there. Both teams really close as far as total passing and running yards. But now Alabama need to find this end zone without turning over. This is smart. I like the handoff. They're going to get right into the corner, find the first down. Now they're just first down with just 5 yards to go for the second touchdown.
Great, able to shrug off that defender. Exactly in the end zone, but great spot. There it is. Oh, just barely stopped at the 1 yard line. There it is. They just kind of have to force it right up the middle here to get in. There it is. Easy touchdown. Going to get them back into the lead. Swapped back into these safer plays. Able to find a touchdown here again. We will see the field goal for the singular extra point, but that's all they need to get themselves into the lead.
Alabama's got to feel good about that. Problem is, Virtual Academy have a good chance to score again before the second quarter is over. In this case, okay, they actually proved me wrong. They go for the play here from the run and don't get as much yard as a touchback. So let's see how they play from this field position.
Right up the middle, sometimes kind of hard. About that 18-yard line here. Not the worst, but of course you could have some extra yardage to help you out a bit. There it is. This is the play that got them the first touchdown. He finds another open receiver.
This is his play.
Gosh.
That's just his play. He says, let me hit you with the lateral pass into the long. It's literally the same exact play that he got in his first touchdown. What a beast.
If it works, it works.
That's right.
And there it is. Both of them kind of going back to their bread and butter a bit. You wouldn't expect that long play to be someone's bread and butter, but it's worked out twice. It's gotten them both of their touchdowns. And again, that extra field goal that they take, though, has proven to be, you know, a big turning point for them to stay in the lead at the moment.
Yeah, goes for the return here, and unfortunately gets taken down. But, yeah, Virtual Academy, if you're on the side of JP Knapp at this point, you've got to scout out that play because it seems to be his bread and butter. But just as you try to defend against that, he could be opting for another play entirely. So very interesting to see how they end up adapting. Now, though, on offense, need to find their way down the field. Some long routes coming out again, and a flag coming out. It might be on the defensive side this time. That was offensive side. Okay. Now 1st and 15. And they got to be careful. This is, I think, their 3rd flag of the game. They've lost now a total of 15 yards from this.
There's the throw into pressure.
And Texas with the crazy interception. Will they find the end zone as well? Uses the hit stick there to shrug them off, and they are almost there on the verge of another touchdown.
At this point, we have seen A, B, and C. Short plays, touchdown, JP Knapp. Long plays, touchdown, NC Virtual Academy. Turnover, JP Knapp. And it's kind of repeated this same sequence over and over again. You'd have to think, again, JP Knapp found success twice with those short plays. They should have just kept to it a little bit. Great job on the defensive play here. But again, you're just setting NC Virtual Academy up for another great field position here. 2nd and goal. Can they find the touchdown this time, though?
The risk reward of these pass plays. Yes, you're going to get more yardage typically, but you also risk the interception, like you said. And we see another good defensive play. So he could right the wrongs of that error of turning this ball over, throwing another interception. If he can stop them here, maybe force Virtual Academy to go for another field goal. Let's see.
There's the run. Can they juke off this defender? They can't, so it is 4th and goal.
Wow.
Will they force them to another field goal? It does look like it at this point. Again, NC Virtual Academy would have wanted to try to convert on this, but will they go for the safer play or not? We'll have to see it here.
Wow.
They do opt to do for this, which again, I do like. Oh, but we do see a timeout coming out here for the 2-minute warning. So they'll kind of be able to reevaluate. We'll have to see if they go back into the same play. It does look like it. It looks like NC Virtual Academy is going to go for the safer play. Again, we'll get them to 20 points here. It is good. So they do pick up a little bit of that lead there. Extended to about 6 points now. Will they be able to get the stop? Again, they've had 2 successful turnovers. Unfortunately, both of those did convert into field goals, but again, it just lengthens your lead a little bit. JP Knapp, I want to see them go back to the slow and steady. That's how they found both of their touchdowns. I want to see them just go back into that same play because it gets them up the field. They still have 1 minute and 55 to work with.
Absolutely. Now, I do have to say, we got to give big props to JP Knapp for preventing that from being a touchdown, because had Virtual Academy got a touchdown in that situation, they would be down by multiple scores, right? But now forcing the field goal out of NC Virtual Academy means that JP Knapp with a single touchdown and extra point would be able to take the lead here. Almost gets sacked, but a very nice short pass there that's going to earn themselves a 1st down and some bonus extra credit as well. And like you said, if JP Knapp can just play their game comfortably, march down the field and find that end zone, could actually take the lead back here.
Seeing them set up. Again, we see these one longer route and a couple shorter here. They're looking for possibly that little one, or maybe no. Oh, they should have just kept running now. I thought they were just going to use the quarterback to maybe run it, get a couple more yards on that play. At that point, they had about 6. If they had just run out of bounds, they probably would have picked up, maybe a couple more, and it would have been about 8 yards on that play if they just decided to run it out with the quarterback. So again, you got to calm down a little bit, see the options. You don't have to force that there. Sometimes just running it up with the quarterback is the best play.
Looked to me like a possible misinput there. So it's not a usual play they go for. Players running in circles and does not find a good-looking target to throw at, so I like the decision. Throw it out of bounds. Don't get sacked and lose the extra yards. 3rd and 10. Bit of pressure here as well. Really don't want to turn it over here, especially with such good field position for Virtual Academy, and only a minute and a half left on the clock.
They're looking for the throw. There it is. Finally able to juke. Uses that quarterback to get the first down. Keeps this drive alive at the moment. Going back into a quick play, setting up. Don't want to give NC Virtual Academy too much time to set up the defense here as well. Here's the pass.
Oh.
Ooh.
That was actually pretty close to an interception as well. Does that?
It does count.
It does count. Okay.
Able to get those tiptoes on the line before the knees touched out of bounds. Able to complete that pass, gets them up the field a little bit. They're looking for a second play this time, though. Kind of want to see them go back to a little bit shorter play if possible, as again, since it looked a little bit sketchy last time. There it is. Great little throw out to the side. Gonna juke 1, pick up 2 on the play, but again, gets you up the field. You still have the ball with about a minute left in the half to try to get this last touchdown, because of course it will be NC Virtual Academy ball starting in the second half.
It's going to be so crucial to score here. Nice throw, huge pickup, might even just score off of it, but no, does get taken down in the immediate timeout. JP Knapp really playing this about as perfect as you could with the situation at hand. I would actually kind of like to burn some time off the clock now, so that there's not as much time during the turnover. We saw the Longhorns score instantly off of 2 of their offensive drives, so you really don't want to give them any time at all to work with. I'd like them to burn down some play clock here.
There it is, setting up for that really quick play once again. Seeing if they can find a route up the middle. There it is, but it's going to get hit again, still at that 5-yard line. Has a bit of a wall right there. Can they find a way through it? Clock is ticking down now. 20 seconds, as you said, they're kind of burning off that clock. Will they be able to get through here?
Oh.
Found an open lane. Oh no, taken down right at the 1. There it is. They're going to have to call that timeout to stop the clock. 4th and goal, about 1 yard. At this point, I would say go for it, though.
Yeah, I think 13 seconds, you've done your job. Probably give the Longhorns 1 play, assuming you do score this. Number 1 importance is actually scoring here, and they actually do not. Looks like, was that another timeout?
Nope, so they were unable to convert. We do see that little arrow swap over to the side of NC Virtual Academy.
Oh, wow.
So there it is.
Oh, no, that is tragic. They are unable to score at the last. They were inches from the end zone, but huge defensive effort. That is a timely situation to do so as well. Into this quarter, likely not going to matter here, as time should run out unless we see another crazy long play, but we've seen that from this team before.
So smart by NC Virtual Academy, even though JP Knapp had called that timeout there, maybe to see if they could have forced an error to pick up the ball on the side or maybe force a safety. They just go ahead and kneel it. It's so great knowledge coming out of NC Virtual Academy there to make the right play. They know they're starting with the ball in this 3rd quarter here on the second half, so no need for them to make any real mistakes there for it. Here it is, ball's coming out. They'll allow the touchback, which of course we've been praising this whole entire time. It's worked out better for both teams when they're able to get it starting on the 25-yard line. We have to wonder, will they go for that lateral toss into the long throw, or would they just kind of more play it safe coming into this first drive of the 3rd quarter?
If you think about it, it's a pretty hard play to play against, right? I mean, unless you're specifically controlling the 1 defender that's going to chase down the long throw. I think the beginning part of the play is designed to throw off your opponent. It's going to be another long throw, but without the lateral pass, and it's going to be a turnover. And that's exactly what Alabama needed right now, as they lost their chance in the last half to make that last score. Now they have another chance to regain the lead.
They do. I will not fault NC Virtual Academy for this, because it's worked out so much for them. Now is maybe after this interceptions where they'll want to start playing their offenses a little more conservative. But again, as you said, great juke coming out, JP Knapp. This is what they need. They need to get the score here. They want to take back the lead as soon as possible so it keeps them in the game, but they have to convert here. And let's see, we see a couple of running options from the 3 on the left there. We're going to have to see who they decide to go with. Oh, so they're going to go to the side. Nice little play. Picks up 6, and I like it.
That was a hard hit. I was surprised. Okay, I guess he landed pretty comfortably there, but could have been worse. Didn't see the injury thing pop up at all, so that's good. But yeah, now just 2nd and 4, seemingly much better situation. It's going to be a run play, but the defense will stop that one short, and no yardage gained at all.
3rd and 4. Not a bad position to be in, especially how well they've been converting on their 3rd down so far. So we do see them going through, but taking a little more time to pick up the place that they want here. So it looks like it is going to be a running play. They only need a couple of yards to pick up that 1st down. Can they find it? Great getting past those 2 there.
Wow.
They should be able to find the end zone. No, just getting tackled at the last minute. But again, a really good scoring position here. 1st and goal on about the 7-yard line. Just need to convert this time.
Love the way that player weaved in and out as we see another handoff here. It's going to now get taken down. Some forward progress, though, and it almost feels like they're just going to strong arm their way into the end zone. They had success with this strategy in the past as well. And 3rd and goal now. So this is getting, it feels like both teams are really stepping up their defense when this ball is right next to the end zone, and you got to respect it.
All right. This is it. They have to score here. We do see them audibling all over to the side to see if they can make sure that they can get that defender in. But running right into the wall is going to get stopped.
I think maybe putting those players on the left to redirect attention to the left side, but Virtual Academy is not going to fall for it. They still maintain that wall in the center, and it do not allow the player to go in. You have to think they might need to play for a wider run here.
Looks like they're setting up the throwing options though on those routes. We actually see a defensive audible moving them out to get some coverage. Gonna miss one, too. The ball comes out. It will be a turnover once again.
There has been so many insane turnovers on the brink of scoring multiple times. JP Knapp has some heartbreaking offensive drives getting all the way to the end, just a few yards away from scoring, and have been stopped twice in a row now.
I would have liked them to actually have gone for the field goal maybe on this time. They still have time in the 4th quarter. Ooh, actually getting the safety though. So there you go. Just pick up some points that way. That's all you need to do.
It was all, that was the long game.
Part of the master plan. Still going to pick up a couple. That's, you know, and get the ball back. So this time going to be in really good field position starting around that 40-yard line there, or about the 35 possibly.
I feel like we're seeing more things in this game than that we just straight up have not seen in the prior games that we've casted. We haven't seen this many 1st and goal stops where the player is able to stop. The defense is so strong multiple times. We see our first safety that I think we've casted as well. Both these teams playing offense, or really impressive defense, honestly. This is some of the better defense that we've seen so far.
Yeah, and it might be a testament as to why they are the 3-1 right now. You know, playing really well defense is probably one of the closer matchups that we've seen as well. You know, testing to both of them having that same score, really evenly matched here. And it's those little subtle things of NC Virtual Academy getting those field goals have allowed them to stay in the lead for the moment. Great pass, though. It's going to pick up the 1st down. So JP Knapp once again moving down the field.
That's the thing. They're good at this part. They're good at the part where they advance down the field. They've got to close it out, though, because you cannot safety and field goal your way to a victory. It just feels like Virtual Academy seems destined to score at least one more touchdown this game. Have to feel like a touchdown is in the cards for JP Knapp if they want a chance in this.
Dropping back, waiting for that pass. Really long throw. They should. Oh,
they got it.
He got it. Finally, that long throw is converted. 1st and goal on the 4-yard line. They probably have a really good feeling. They're able to force out the safety. Got that big throw. They have to be feeling good to get this touchdown now.
For sure. Do they go for another throw? Do they try to force it in the end zone? Remember how many failed rush attempts there have been in this exact situation. Now it's going to be a short pass, and it was almost bad. I would have hated to see another turnover. When it says goal on the screen, you have to find a way in here.
Again, I think you're right. Just run it. Try to find a swinging run out there from the running back and try to get it in kind of there, but not quite wide enough. Tried to force their way through two of those big offensive linemen. It's not going to be too fun as a smaller running back there. We do see some throwing options this time now, trying to switch it up a bit instead of forcing that run a second time. But pressure.
There it is.
There, yep, finally getting that touchdown. Long overdue from the side of JP Knapp with as much work as they put in. Here it is, that extra point going for it.
Yeah, I love to see the adjustment from JP Knapp. They had multiple drives in a row, getting stopped short, going for too many runs that just don't make it through the brick wall of defense that is Virtual Academy. Finally going for the throw pass off to the left, find the end zone, and have taken the lead for the first time since the very beginning when they got the first touchdown.
But again, those field goals coming out massive, still making it a 1 field point game for the side of NC Virtual Academy. So again, don't have to rush or do anything too fancy here. We do see a run coming out, shrugs off one to pick up a couple more yards. So great job picking up 7 on their first run.
Yeah, so far Virtual Academy has generally been the most explosive team on offense. I mean, they've had multiple 70-plus yard passes. So JP Knapp, I think, has to step up the defense. The reason that I think JP Knapp is winning was from the interceptions that Virtual Academy has thrown. But if it's not intercepted, you have to think Virtual Academy finds their way to the end zone somehow. Here's the patented play, the double handoff into the long pass. They're 3 for 3 on this play. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Virtual Academy steal the lead back in an instant.
This time, some of the mind games coming out first. We saw the run. Maybe JP Knapp didn't think that the play was going to come out after they got the interception the last time. And this time they threw out the run first, threw in some of those mind games. There it is, instantly getting that touchdown once again and taking the lead. This game is just so back and forth between both players.
Yeah, this has been insane. One of the most competitive matches we have seen. Look how fast this guy is running it in to the end zone, and got to feel good about that. I mean, I was starting to think about it, though. If you're JP Knapp, how do you defend against that play? It feels like as the handoff is happening, the players deep in the field are getting lazier. They're not ready to defend that player, and then there's a massive amount of separation by the time you realize what's happening, and you can't catch up to them. So Virtual Academy maybe employing a trick they might have learned somewhere, but got to be careful. Other players are going to catch on.
All right, we'll have to see how JP Knapp answer back to that touchdown. We do see the throw coming out into the interception. Oh, no.
No. Is it going to be back-to-back? Okay, it's not a pick six, but that has to hurt, man. JP Knapp has put in so much work, and now they might go down by more than a touchdown if they can't stop this here. This is feeling rough. It's going to be the handoff. Open lane down the center. Will gain a few yards and be a few yards away from the touchdown, but at least stopped for now.
Can't even fault JP Knapp. That wasn't even the longest throw. It was just great coverage from the side of NC Virtual Academy, knowing that those short plays are coming out. Set up some great defense around it on the 2-yard line. Can they convert? They haven't been the best on converting after turnovers here. So into the third quarter, going into the fourth with a 4-point lead. We'll have to see if they're forced to once again to that field goal that we've seen over the turnovers that they have, or if they can finally convert with the touchdown. As you said, they want to get those extra points, because if they only get that field goal once again, it will be a 1-touchdown game.
Yeah, this is a really important score, I think, for Virtual Academy, and an even more important stop for JP Knapp if they're able to do it. If they can prevent this from getting into the end zone, it will erase the mistake they had previously made here. 3rd and goal. A lot of pressure in this moment.
All right,
wow.
Running up the center, but getting stopped at the 1-yard line. Will they opt to go for it, or will they go for the field goal? I think they just go for the field goal, make it a 1-touchdown game. don't know if you really want to risk it right now, but it looks like they are. So it looks like maybe they think with the pressure that JP Knapp can put on them that they have to.
Oh,
but
no.
here it is. They're not going to convert.
Are you serious? This has been insane. Another stop short, this time on the other side. So JP Knapp feeling a little bit better about this one. And get the ball back. Granted, much further down in the field from before they threw that touchdown. But what's the play here? Okay, the handoff and a quick advancement to the 10-yard line. That's pretty important to get out of that end zone to not be in safety territory as well.
They do have to be a little bit quicker. As you see, only 4 minutes. We do have that accelerated clock on right now, so you do have to get down the field. It is fourth quarter, so it is do or die time for JP Knapp to get this touchdown. Going to drop back for the pass, finds an open receiver, jukes one, going to get hit at the 20-yard line. So again, progressing up the field. As long as they can make progressions like this, it's fine. But again, under 4 minutes, they have to keep moving up.
Have to keep moving up indeed. Looks like one of those players was highly injured as well. Got to be careful. Okay, that's another great pass into the corner, 2nd and 1. Starting to see some more mind games come out from JP Knapp. I think maybe making the adjustment, going for some more passes. Have to be extremely mindful, though, about which player they're passing it to. Don't want to risk another turnover. I think another turnover in this position could be the end of their chances to win this game. Feels like a must-score situation. Nice lateral pass there. Also going to find the first down with the juke and some extra credit. Now 1st and 10 with a very strong play there.
Saw both of them audible to the right-hand side there, but still able to pick up the first down. So again, moving up the field with this drive, play-by-play. Run is going to get right down the middle, so great job picking up another first down. And again, move back to these kind of sweet, short but sweet plays here for the side of JP Knapp, getting down, running down the clock down all the same. Can they find another one? This time they will get stopped at the 2nd and 4, so good gain of 6. So again, not losing too much on those plays. Can they keep it up though?
Yeah, these midfield runs down the center have had a lot of success for JP Knapp. Looks like they might be opting for a throw here instead. Changing routes multiple times here. But yeah, it seems like once they get closer to the end zone is typically where they have trouble. But yeah, just failed to start the play here, and they're going to lose some yardage.
Again, this is not what you want to do when you're in this situation. When you're down, you want to keep those yards up. Every little bit counts at the moment. Can they find an open play here?
Oh, wow.
Nice. Able to juke out last second to get that first down, so that those loss of yards not going to matter at the end. But this time we do see the running routes from a couple of those receivers right down the middle. We'll be able to pick up 5. Big hit on the play, though, coming up in NC Virtual Academy.
Love that pass there. Quick and effective, and another very quick and effective run. Will he just find the end zone off of that? Are you kidding me? You cannot leave a hole in the defense like that. And JP Knapp now putting himself in position, back in the lead. The lead has changed so many times. Virtual Academy down by a single field goal. This one could go to overtime if we see a field goal here on this offensive drive.
This is where that 4th down play might start haunting NC Virtual Academy a bit. They could have went for that field goal, but when they opted not to, now they are down by 3. It could be a tied game. It may have been even a force JP Knapp to go for the 2-point conversion, and they maybe could have gotten a stop there, and they could be in the lead by 1. But now they have to score, as you said, at least a field goal, so they have to get into range for that or a touchdown. But here it is, bread and butter play. They do find one open.
This time he throws it to the right side, so the bread and butter play. But I like that decision. It says, okay, this receiver is way more open. They're going to expect me to throw it to the left side. Let me just go ahead and take the free pass. And these plays have been so effective for Virtual Academy. If they can do just 1 or 2 more of those, they'll find the end zone and take the lead again. 2 minutes on the clock, though. And if JP Knapp can find another stop, that's how they win this game. They need to stop Virtual Academy from finding the end zone.
I'm not sure how well their mechanics are at the field goal, so because they are getting about into the field goal range, maybe if they can move it up to at least the 30, it'll be a little bit safer, but someone who might have that field goal mechanic down could possibly get it from about the 40. So we'll have to see what they opt to do. Losing one on that is not exactly what they want. They want to try to get it as close to the end zone as possible. Of course, you always want that touchdown, but they have a chance to tie it. But the closer they are, the easier it will be to tie that game up if they are forced into a field goal position here. We'll have to see what they decide to do. Looking at them drop back here, looking for a pass play, seeing if they can find someone open. Might opt to just run it a bit. They do. Should get them to, 3rd and 1. In a really good position here now.
I'll be honest with you, Chris, I don't think they're thinking about the field goal at all. They don't want this game to continue any further. They want to find the end zone and just win it off of this drive. There is still a minute and a half on the clock, accelerated now though. Have to find this first down right here, right now. That this is the situation that they find themselves. 4th and inches, no. So you're right though, because now it feels like the field goal is the less risky option. But do you just go for the glory and try to force it here? I don't know.
We'll have to see what they pick. Of course, we see the defensive. What are they thinking that the offense will do from NC Virtual Academy? We actually see them picking up some possible. Okay, so now it looks like they are setting up for that field goal stoppage here. Actually looking for another run here with that defense lining up.
Oh, how does he get through?
Oh, no.
JP Knapp has to hate that. How does this man slip through what looked to be 4 defenders somehow, 2 on his left and 2 on his right, and that just changed everything.
In another lane right up the middle is going to pick him up 6 yards. The AI, what are you doing? Help this man out at JP Knapp.
Wow.
Fortunately, leading them down just a bit there. NC Virtual Academy thanking their lucky stars for getting that 4th and inches, and now another great gain of 6. End zone definitely in sight. 1 minute left, so they do have to make use of these next couple of plays.
Would like the score or the timer to dwindle a bit here as they get into the end zone. You kind of have to score, but not too fast. You don't want to give JP Knapp the opportunity to strike back, as we see a quick pause here. But yeah, let's just talk about what was on the line there in that moment. Was when it's 4th and inches, they're unable to turn the ball over. Had they turned the ball over in that case, they could literally just ride the timer out and win the game. Now it's a totally different complexion here. And we'll see the timer is there. Looks like one of these players needed to maybe take a quick bathroom break. I mean, you want to make sure you're in full force going into this next play here. Everything on the line now.
Could possibly be also the side of NC Virtual Academy moving some of their players around for these next couple of offensive plays here. We'll have to see what they decide to do. As you said, both of these players don't want to play for that tie. They just want to win the game, and that's what we saw coming out NC Virtual Academy with that 4th and inches. We do see another run right up the middle. Only a gain of 3 this time, though. Again, clock is ticking down. They still have 2 timeouts left, so it looks like they are trying to get as close as possible to the end, that if they do score, it would force a big play out of JP Knapp. So we'll have to see if it will be successful or not. There it is. They break through. He should be able to get in, and he finds the touchdown.
NC Virtual Academy has been so resilient throughout this game. Every time they have lost the lead, they have found a way to fight back. You can say the same about JP Knapp, though. This has been absolutely insane. The field goal is good for the extra point. Now, JP Knapp with 33 seconds to find their way into the end zone. I'd like to see them play very smart here, burn the clock, maybe take the touchback here to start on the 25. But at the same time, maybe the risk reward for going for it. Okay, yeah, he is going to take the touchback. I like this play. It's going to pause the timer, give him a second to think about how he wants to attack here.
JP Knapp has not done very well on these long plays, and unfortunately those little short but sweet won't work when you only have 33 seconds left on the clock. We do see these longer routes coming out of the receivers. They will have to convert. There it is. Don't want to get any loss of yardage, but great run up. Will they be able to find one? They run to the side. Great job. So they will stop the clock again. Maybe they were thinking that NC Virtual Academy would are thinking about that as well. So they found an open lane for their quarterback to get through here. We do see the couple different options. Moving the player across the side there. Checking out more options as well. This is a very pivotal play, so I like that they're taking their time here. Do see a shift in the line from the defense.
Okay, juke left. No, he just gets taken down. Got a timeout. Okay, timeout is called. I like the first play. They only used 6 seconds to get into a better position. These 6 seconds were not as helpful, though. Now with 21 left. 7 before the first down. Plenty to go to find the end zone to win this game. They're going to go long here. It's going to be short and want to get the first down and get out of bounds. That was perfect. I mean, only burn 4 seconds off, find the first down. They give themselves another chance.
All right, 17 seconds left on the clock. Looking at their different options that they have here from the receivers. Waiting for that snap. I wonder what the defense is thinking, though. It looks like they have the coverage if they need it. There's the throw right up the middle.
Oh,
great job.
Timeout. It took him an extra second to fall to the ground. Let's see if that is of consequence. They have done a phenomenal job to make this possible. They absolutely could win this game now. I mean, they've had so many good offensive plays, taking their time, thinking through every single little thing. 10 seconds essentially to go here. 27 yards to the goal.
They do have to convert, though. Field goal will not be enough to tie this game. Looking for the option there.
Oh!
The end zone, but it will be intercepted.
That is probably the game-winning interception there, and a heartbreaker for JP Knapp. Are you kidding me? And look at the fans in the audience, hands on head. You cannot believe your eyes. That was the moment to capture it, and now Virtual Academy can just burn the other 6 seconds off here.
Yep. Oh, so we will actually see the last timeout come out from JP Knapp. But, of course, we'll just go back into another kneel here as there are plenty of time on that play clock to force out the rest of the game. There it is. They'll kneel it down, run out the clock. And, again, it came down to those little field goals, as we see on the final score there. 10 and 10 in the first and second quarter from those 2 field goals are the difference maker in this game.
Player of the game, Isaiah Bond. I believe this is the receiver that caught 2 of those long bomb passes. Yep, that's going right into the end zone. I mean, so you're right, it was the field goals, but also having that play in the back pocket. That's kind of like that player's trick, their calling card. I mean, I love the way they played both offense and defense from both these teams. Both these teams are very impressive. It's clear why they've had so much success in the season so far, but it is going to be Virtual Academy taking now a 5-1 record. Should certainly be near the top of the leaderboard going into the last week.
I have to say, that was a great game out of both teams. We saw really good decision-making out of both of them. Slightly better, though, on the NC side of NC Virtual Academy, able to pick up those turnovers, at least forcing them as well, gave them such a big advantage. But great stops on the side of JP Knapp. You know they have to be good going into week 6 as well. So going into week 6, they can't be down. They still have a good chance to make it. You know, they played really well. So again, moving to that 3-2, here we are, and then 4-1 for the side of NC Virtual Academy. Both of them have a really good shot going into the conference championship as well.
You're absolutely right, but Virtual Academy may have just earned themselves a seed that could make all the difference in that conference championship this weekend. So it's going to be super exciting to see. Let's take a look at the total leaderboard after that match. So yeah, we see there NC Virtual Academy 4-1, comfortably in that top 8. And JP Knapp, unfortunately, fall just below the cutoff for now. So there's still one more week to play. They have to find a W here to give themselves a chance to qualify. And at the very top there, 2 players we have not seen, Southwest Edgecombe A and Grays Creek. And I'm a little bit surprised to see Northside Onslow with a loss now. We saw them towering the leaderboards previously, but must have been either Grays Creek or Southwest Edgecombe that defeated them.
And again, a big difference comes out into these points for and points against, the point differential moving who's in first, who's in second. We see that 10-point lead for the side of Grace Creek over Southwest Edgecombe. Of course, Northside Onslow B, despite having a positive 160 right now, did end up losing that one game, so it is pushing them into the third place slot as well. And then the big thing as well, is those points. So again, those are big deciding factors on what seeding will be going into those conference championship. Of course, there's 1 week left, so JP Knapp still has a chance to make it into that top 8. So hopefully they'll come in with a fire in their eyes going into week 6 to maybe see if they can force themselves into that top 8 as well. So great job by them and the rest of the teams though. But again, being in that -3 with that point difference is a little bit disheartening, It's actually almost the difference of that game as well that we just saw, putting them into that point difference. So, of course, we'll have to see how each team moves through week 6 and into the conference championship.
You're exactly right. Everything is getting more intense as we near the end of the season. That's going to be our college football match for today. Don't go anywhere, though. After the break, we're going to watch some Overwatch. Later in the day, we still got Smash and Rocket League. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
esports coaches to train you in 4 different game titles for free. We're bringing you exclusive world-class advice from the best players in the world. Learn from pro Overwatch player Jake, known for his versatility across multiple heroes and consistent top-tier performance. Or refine your Smash Bros. Knowledge with DeBuzz, renowned for his consistent tournament success and high-profile victories. Cover strategy with 11-time Madden champion Dreeny, one of the youngest and most dominant competitors in the Madden esports scene. Need help locking down your aerials? Try Rising Star Chief Beef's course on competitive Rocket League. Whether you're a filthy casual or a seasoned tryhard, get 8 straight weeks of exclusive expert game knowledge crafted for you every Friday, with the first videos dropping October 11th. That's 32 total videos covering everything you need to know about your favorite games, from fundamentals to high-level strategy. You'll learn positioning and teamwork, defensive and offensive strategy, practice routines, game sense, communication, mental and emotional resilience, all the way down to analyzing meta and adapting to change. Everyone has something to learn and enjoy, and these courses are completely free. So what are you waiting for? Go to thenotwork.org/register to sign up and get access to these courses.
All right, so definitely make sure you guys are watching all of the coaching videos. So much awesome content there. I know they're doing some VOD review stuff as well, where they're actually watching footage from players in the league and then talking about it and the good things and bad things that they might be doing in-game. So make sure you're watching those to improve. Make sure you're not making the same mistakes that other people are making in the season. But we are transitioning now. We did start with college football between JP Knapp and NC Virtual Academy. Now, in Overwatch, we have JP Knapp again, this time against another online school, NC Cyber Academy. So, and then the funny thing about this too is in both cases, both teams are coming into this match 3-1. So we've got another, what should be very competitive match here between another JP Knapp team and another online school.
Yes, and these 3-1s, as we've seen how big they are, players moving outside of the range of the conference championships because of the loss, so it matters so much at this point. Week 5, such a massive move up, and of course with the conference championships right around the corner, you have to make sure you want to pick up wins in these games. So we'll have to see how both these teams come out. We've seen some games that are really close, some games that are not so much. Both these teams 3-1. I expect this to be a pretty good match though.
I think so as well. Overwatch, always so exciting to watch. We get to see some team dynamics, all kinds of different things, and check to see if they've been watching those Jake Overwatch videos, because they'll certainly help your teamwork out quite a bit. But let's go ahead and jump into game number 1 and take a look at this map here. Remind me, Chris, what is this map called?
All right, we're back to Ilios again. We're kind of moving back to what we saw in week 1 here. So again, we're just on the control point. This one does have the sectioned off, so whoever controls the point, they get it to 100. It will stop and then move over to the next one, not the fluidity of some of the other maps though. So we'll get to see how nice it is here. Again, we're taking a little tour of both sides, seeing these landing ships here where the teams will come out, and of course the great scenery that Blizzard has given us. So both these teams are kind of starting to see both of them start to take shape here. We've seen a lot of Reaper come out recently, so we do see the Reaper on the side of NC Virtual, or Cyber Academy, sorry. But the opposite end, we are seeing the Moiga as well as the Lucio. Of course, on the edge of this map, if you get boofed off the side, you can't go swimming, as Eli has told us before, so you have to be a little bit careful there as well. We do see the final pickups being taken, so both teams pretty standardized of what we've been seeing for the meta of VESL here. Kind of been standardized a bit here. A lot of Soldier 76, a lot of Reaper. So both of these teams will have to fight over control, see who can get the early advantage to take this first point.
Yeah, notice a lot of Bastion on a lot of these teams. Bastion on both teams here, as well as Mora. And it looks like both teams playing the first interaction a bit standoffish here. Looks like Jack the Bird going to rotate to his teammate's aid here. Maga taking the front line for JP Knapp, and now going to rotate back to the other side. So good team play coming out from both sides. I like the patient play. Looks like Mint's going to be the first one to go down, though. And now we might see them spring into action.
Yep, a second kill is going to be really good. We did see them, our NC Cyber Academy, actually able to pick up the point though. So their option was, even if we die, at least we're going to get some percentage on it, and it's going to get them to about 18, about 20 almost before a full cap can come out of JP Knapp. So despite them getting those first kills, they still lost out on some of that early percentage. So they should be able to get it back, but of course puts NC Cyber Academy in a decent spot to where they didn't lose too much out of those first couple of deaths.
Exactly. So how do they approach this situation, though? Now coming off spawn, really only one approach angle to choose from. One player will go out wide to this interior area, though, and will find their way into the zone. The problem is they might have got themselves into a bit of a pickle here, are able to get out just barely, and they also pick up a KO at the same time. Mints with a clutch KO there.
Great job moving to the end, getting to the back line, using the Reaper, the Wraith Walk to get the kill. And, you know, they picked up that first 20%. They got a couple of deaths, but you see, this is kind of where these teams are separating from some of the lower ladder teams, is that they're able to regroup. Instead of going in one at a time, they get together as a team. They're able to pick up a kill. Then they force the side of JP Knapp off the point, regain control, and even up the percentage. And now are starting to move towards that 40%. We do see 2 ults online. There it is, the visor coming out to try to get some of that damage, but a lot of it's going to get eaten up from that defense matrix from the D.Va, though. So great job there from them. 2 ultimates will be used, or 1 ultimate will be used on the side of NC Virtual Academy. The Tranquility keeping the team alive there so they can keep their point control. There it is, the Reaper starting to pop off. We'll finally have the Death Lotus, or Death Blossom online as well here now. So 2 ults, and we will see the Bastion as well as D.Va getting theirs online as well. So despite having a first couple of deaths from that early engagement, we do see NC Cyber Academy able to come out on top here.
Huge bounce back, and you can see the adjustment from Mintz as well, picking safer angles, but Solomon going to be first to go down. Bastion and Mintz do go down. Looks like it might be 2 on both sides. Yeah, now it is a 2v3 on the map. JP Knapp somehow come out on top. Mopey foot on the Reinhardt now, trying to find a way in.
Massive D.Va bomb will get the kill. Force off JP Knapp once again, 97%, so they have to get on the point. The Reinhardt is forced onto it, will die. There it is, a great Bastion ult going to pick up 1 more kill as well onto the healer of JP Knapp. Looks like they may not have enough to get on it there. A counter kill, but isn't enough to get on. This D.Va on this Bastion doesn't allow them in, and they will pick up the first point of Ilios.
I mean, JP Knapp fought so well in that second engagement as well, though. Almost had a chance to retake possession of the point, but Cyber Academy holds strong. It was all D.Va, I think, in the end there. Dapper Uzi really putting on a show with the ult, like you said, but then also just pushing the members of JP Knapp away from the point to guarantee that one. Now, we go to a full reset once again, and NC Cyber Academy on match point here. JP Knapp need this next cap.
We saw both teams actually do really well with regrouping after losing some, but of course NC Cyber Academy did a little bit of a better job utilizing their ults at the right time and picking up those kills. Again, we do have some deaths on the death portions on the side. If they get knocked out here next to the point, they could possibly find it. So we do see the Roadhog, which of course can pull people off the edge. But on that D.Va, of course, she does have those boosters to help out Defense Matrix, eating up a little bit of those projectiles. But again, we do see JP Knapp finding the first kills of the match.
D.Va here taking the front line once again, going to backtrack though, needs to get in front of this teammate, doesn't do so in time. Solomon taking down again, and JP Knapp with a very strong opening here for this second point, really forcing Cyber Academy back, and now they've got to find another way in.
We do see maybe a little bit of miscommunication between the tanks and the DPS who got killed there first. Great setup by the turrets here. Forcing the D.Va out of that mech form. Of course, he gets a lot squishier, and of course, don't really want to fight against a Roadhog in that spot, then getting hooked onto the Zenyatta to get that kill. The switch over from the Reinhardt to the Roadhog has been a big difference maker on the second point here for the side of JP Knapp. They're sitting pretty at 30%. D.Va does have the bomb online. Actually, no, so she's actually going to re-mech there instead. Didn't get killed in that. So again, now we see maybe a little bit of unease coming outside NC Virtual Academy, making a little bit of mistakes. They're staggering their desk quite a bit. A good job on that placement there from the portals is going to get the Roadhog up. They're able to find another kill. Oh, finally finding a kill onto the Symmetra there. So will they be able to force out? But just kind of look at this right now. 59, 60% already for the side JP Knapp. NC Virtual Academy has their work cut out for them.
I think you're right. They're feeling a little bit out of sorts. They're not quite as organized as we saw in the first match, but you got to imagine if they can get back into that groove of working together, it could be a big thing. A huge fight breaking out here, though. Looks like they were able to take down Disillusion, and it's now they've got 2 KOs, but the tank is down for Cyber Academy. That's going to make this fight a lot more difficult.
There it is, the whole hog coming out, just shredding the enemy team. You don't want to taste that hog from Roadhog there. Doing a great job, as you said, despite losing Disillusion and actually reading as well, dropping the beat, but only hitting about 2 members of it at that time. It looked a little scary for them, but it didn't matter when you have your tank on such a high streak at that moment. They're able to get the kills and even up the score to 1-1 apiece here. So we are moving into the third and final point on Ilios. And with both of these teams, anyone can take it at the moment.
That was really impressive, honestly, for JP Knapp to bounce back the way they did. And we were talking about Dapper Uzi being the player of the first capture. That time, they were the one to fall in the last fight when it mattered most, and it's so much harder in a team fight to not have your tank alive, right? I mean, there's no one to protect you from taking all the damage. It's just going to immediately end in the rest of your team getting wiped. So good job by JP Knapp somehow taking out the tank early there. I think maybe some focus fire on to that player was exactly what they needed to just secure that point. And honestly, from the very beginning of that point, they had such strong control. That was just how they secured it in the end.
A bit of a misthrow on that trap there, but of course, setting up in this perfect position to try to pull people down the wheel. You got to be a little careful there, as you don't want to go down that one if possible. But of course, some of these heroes on the side of NC Cyber Academy can get back up if needed, especially the boosters from that Diva should help out if they get hooked. Right now, rating a lot better on the side of NC Cyber Academy, but the Reaper getting pretty close to death, has to get out, finally getting healed up from that Zenyatta. There is going to help out a lot. Sticking to the Diva this time from NC Cyber Academy. Dapper Uzi doing a much better job this time.
Yes, I think recognizing the mistake they made in the prior round, making some adjustments here, being the player this team needs. But it's 3 down for Cyber Academy, 2 down for JP Knapp. Jack the Bird.
Oh, there it is.
And then another KO down the well. Opiefoot sending Dapper, and that's exactly the type of situation they capitalized on last time.
Looks like no boosters, so it should get that Diva back up. Does have bomb online, though, so the Defense Matrix able to get that ultimate online fairly early here. We'll have to see if they decide to use it. Finally picked up again at 40% during that whole entire fight. JP Knapp did have control of the point, so they've been moving them up, and NC Cyber Academy can't really, afford to let it keep going up there. Drop the beat online for JP Knapp there, so really good use of that. Did you see the wall coming out to stop some of that side damage and trying to funnel them into one? We do see there right into the middle. Has to be careful, and I'm not sure I like that play. A good Blizzard is used to keep the rest of the members of NC Cyber Academy away while that Reaper went in alone. So good utilization there from the May to keep her team up.
Yeah, Mintz now has found himself out of position, I think, feeling a little bit too cozy on that Reaper. Yeah, you've got that Rift Walk, but it's not a get-out-of-jail-free card in every situation. Now, going to switch over to the Junkrat. Maybe we'll have a bit more success on this one. But no, they get taken down again, this time by Gear Shift. And will JP Knapp take advantage of this?
Tranquility being used, and actually Mario will be using theirs as well. So a little bit of a confusion for the camera operator there as we saw the ground, but great job by both of them. Right now, JP Knapp just kind of sitting pretty, but they were forced off by NC Cyber Academy, who's finally picking up some of their first points, but will they be able to get it? Great job from the team there. Will pick up 2 kills. Can they find the team kill onto the May? It looks like they may not be able to just yet. They're looking for it. Finally pick it up. but we do have 2 members up from the side of JP Knapp, so they'll be looking there. Both of the Junkertown boys, Junkrat and Roadhog, having their ultimates online, none online for the side of NC Cyber Academy, so they're going to have to be really careful here because both of them are pretty big when they come out.
Yeah, this is going to be a massive situation here. You have to imagine these ults will come out. If JP Knapp can win this fight and re-secure the point, they will win the game as they're at 99%. Cyber Academy have to hold the fort and have to hold strong here.
Actually, we do see a great Riptire coming out of Mint. Is going to be the difference maker right now to keep them in this game at the moment. Blizzard coming online just at the last second. Whole Hog will only get one person a trap, will pick up the second, but is it enough to get on the point? It's not. And we were talking about Disillusion having that Riptire, but it was actually Mint who got the double kill and started off that great fight for the side of NC Cyber Academy.
Mint's righting the wrongs that they had previously maybe been out of position, and another great Riptire coming out, this time from Disillusion, takes out Gear Shift. Dapper Uzi finding one on the other side. Mopey sends Solomon into the well, and that robot cannot swim from what I can tell. In another pull in, and Mopey is popping off right now.
That's exactly what they'll need to win this map and win this first map of the game here. They will get control at 99%. No one to step on the point for overtime. JP Knapp, despite falling a little bit there in the bit of the mid game, will be able to pick up the late game win for map number 1. And Ilios going to the side of JP Knapp.
Wow. Mopey with this play of the game with back-to-back hooks into the well, sending them into the drink. Where does this well even go, man? You don't want to be down there.
When you're in Greece, I'm pretty sure I don't want to know where any well goes. Probably going to some afterlife that sends all those fun heroes to. But again, it's just both of these teams had really great team play. This is probably some of the best, back and forth team play that we've seen so far between both teams. And we're seeing, both teams can pick up the wins, but just who has that better early game so far has kind of been the difference maker between both of them. The one game that NC Cyber Academy was able to pick up the first couple bit of percentage on, they were able to take the win, but then we saw JP Knapp coming up and picking up the early point on the last 2 parts of Ilios, and they're able to pick up the wins there as well. So we'll have to see how the adjustments are made from NC Cyber Academy going into map number 2 if they want to keep this game going.
Yeah, I mean, JP Knapp coming out strong and then holding strong in the end as well. So props to them. Like you said, it's going to be curious to see how both these teams face off in the next match. It's very clear they have a lot of comfortability on multiple champions, so not even sure what champions we're going to see, but let's go ahead and jump into game number 2. Okay, so now the Pylon Terrace on your screen. Is that the name of this map, or is it just part of this map?
So we are actually on Blizzard World. It is our favorite place for all our different Blizzards. Here we are seeing Heroes Arcade. Oh, how I miss Heroes of the Storm. Was one of my favorite games. And we're kind of just taking a nice little tour around it here. You can see the Asmo Dunk. Always a lot of fun. Murky on the side here too.
So cool.
But this is a hybrid map, so of course it will be first you have to control the point. Once you control the point, it will open up the payload, and you have to push the payload after that as well. So we do see the teams will be setting up here, one on attack and one on defense as well. It will be NC Cyber Academy on the attack first, and then JP Knapp on the defensive, so we'll get to see them set up first as they're able to get into their positions. But now we're moving into more of the World of Warcraft. We see Naxxramas, we saw the tavern over there as well, and of course the may not be able to see it since we're following them, but of course the nice little griffins right above us here on the left side there for the Duskwood ride. This map is just so much fun to see all the different games. But here we are on the the player of the match from map number 1. Mopey here is going to stick to this Roadhog, which I agree with.
Yeah, he had so much success on this champion. It cannot deny the pick here. By the way, Chris just casually mentioning that Heroes is his favorite game. He's also a world champion in that game, but he won't say it himself. So let's jump into the action, though. It looks like first fight is breaking out here, and see an early hook just pulling Solomon right into his entire team, and with an opening like that, you have to imagine they're going to get the early progress here, and it was another great pull-it.
This Roadhog picking up right where they left off on Ilios, doing a great job with these hooks, really doing a good job of aiming them and pulling in the heroes that you want to pull in first. You want to try to get one of those DPS that are poking their head out, or maybe a possibly healer as well. Right now, they're doing a great job of utilizing the terrain as well to their advantage to not take too much damage. But there it is, a hook into the face of that Junkrat. They're going to get the kill onto there. Jack the Bird, who swapped to this Reaper as well, picking up a kill onto the Bastion right now, not even letting them force in. Sometimes we see some people try to sneak around and pick up some points onto that part to get that control first, but haven't seen it quite yet from the side of NC Virtual Academy. Right now, just kind of playing it slow. They do have plenty of time right now. Unfortunately, can't see it due to the overlay, but you know, they still don't have to, you know, kind of force anything just yet. Bastion, though, from the side, JP Knapp will go ahead and use that barrage to get some damage out there. Not gonna hit anyone, so a little bit of a wasted ult. Moira and the we do see the Death Blossom coming out, though. Actually not going to pick up anything either. Actually dying on that. Moira, though, using that ult to finally pick up a kill. So kind of seeing some traded ults. We do have Job the Beat to keep them alive for the time being, but we finally see some of the counter ults coming out of NC Cyber Academy. Can they pick anything up right now? Looks like they should still be stopped. Great hook out of the Roadhog. Gonna pick up their ult as well, but don't have to use it. And another great defense coming out, JP Knapp.
And if you're at NC Cyber Academy, you better stay out of the range of this man's hook, because he is not missing with it and continues to pull his opponents right into his teammates, and they're taking so much damage. Like this play from Mince, maybe finding a safe spot for some long-range shots, and is going to actually pick up a KO for it. But I tell you what, they have not been able to find any offensive movement on the objective here. Mince, though, getting a little bit creative with his angles here, finding a spot where he's not going to take any damage, but can apply some offensive pressure at the very least.
Good use of those projectile weapons. Still does have the Rip Tower online as well if they decide they want to use it. Whole Hog, though, have to be careful when that comes out. We saw how well it was utilized in the last game. There it is, coming out, picking up the first kill onto the Zarya. They're going to go ahead and pick up a kill onto one of the projectiles as well, trying to get that Rip Tower out of the air. They'll actually find it as well before it can blow up. Drop the Beat was used as to keep everyone topped up during that, so good counter from the side of Rendio to keep their team alive. And right now, NC Cyber Academy is going to be feeling a bit. They are getting down, dwindling down on that time, and haven't been able to pick up any of that percentage on the control point just yet. They need to get it so they can unlock the payload and get a little bit of extra time, but they just have not been able to get past this wall of JP Knapp.
This is so impressive. They're just playing this position so perfectly to just stop this choke from getting through, and then also just keep getting pushed, or they just keep pulling their opponent into the trap again every single time. Mopey Foot has been on an absolute tear. I mean, with this choke point, obviously it's going to be more difficult to push through, but they literally have zero objective time or progress. And now, if you're on the side of JP Knapp, you got to feel pretty good about your chances to get some progress here.
I mean, all they have to do is cap 1/3 of that point and they win the game. Any bit of percentage is basically going to win them. And, you know, I kind of wish I saw some flexibility out of NC Cyber Academy there. You know, maybe swap off the Zarya onto the Reinhardt, make it harder for those hooks to come out from that Roadhog, get someone that can get into their faces and really stop some of those projectiles coming out, but they just kind of stuck to it. And, you know, we have to start seeing some of the flexibility out of these top teams. You know, that's how you're going to get further into this league. You can't really just play one thing and keep it going. We do see them actually maybe opting to swap to the Roadhog, trying to give them a taste of their own medicine. But again, you know, how well can they play it into such a, you know, on-fire Roadhog like Mopey, who's going to be able to try to find those hooks? They're sticking to it right now. I like that they haven't really swapped up their comp too much. We do see the Hanzo possibly coming out. But, you know, at this point, it's really, JP Knapp's game to lose. It has to be played perfectly from the side of NC Virtual Academy, or Cyber Academy, sorry, if they want to stay in this game.
You're exactly right. Does Dapper have the same level of hook success that we saw from Mopey? He's now going to essentially try to use the same exact strategy that was just used against him, but I tell you what, that's not wait, did he just? Okay, he took out the pigpen. Okay, not Mopey himself. But, yeah, I mean, you got to think that JP Knapp know how to play against this, as they do get the stun onto Mopey, and they actually do the same exact tactic against them and are already finding some success.
They are, but still have to be careful as someone can wrap around. I think I saw a silhouette of Reaper trying to do so, but is getting chased down. So at least they see that. But again, if you do that, it does open up a little bit of the way for the enemy team to get through this main entry point here. Of course, everyone wants to get into Blizzard World, so they're trying their best. But right now, there's a lot of denial from the enemy team. Echo trying to do a good job as well, but we do see again Mint on this Junkrat doing another good job, just able to keep the high ground right now, get some damage out from those projectiles.
Wow.
A good job there, so they will pick up another kill. So far, they're doing exactly what they need to do. We saw JP Knapp swap up with the Roadhog, which isn't, the best at the offensive, really, or sorry for the defensive there. So, of course, when you're trying to push in, those hooks may not be the best. So swapping over to Renata here. Will they be able to find anything? Retire is online. Will they decide to use it here soon as we see the push in coming here from the side of JP Knapp?
Okay, like this movement, they finally get a KO onto Solomon. Looks like Mopey has switched up the champion here. And what's going on here, Chris?
They are moving in. They got the 2 kills. They should be able to drop the beat. Is going to keep them topped off. I'm not sure why ults haven't been used yet from the side of NC Cyber Academy. You have to literally just rip it, but it's not going to be enough. As you can see, all they need is this 1/3, and they're going to get it without even Riptire being used.
Wow, just like that. JP Knapp take the series. I mean, that was a good fight, I think, for the most part from Cyber Academy, but like you said, maybe just feeling the pressure of the moment, don't use all the resources available to them, and they're going to pay the price of losing in this game. Like we said, both these teams were 3-1 going into this. Here we go. This is the play of the game coming in from Johnny, and some impressive DPS on the laser beam here.
I honestly do think that ult was game-saving for them. It allowed them to keep control of it despite losing a couple members. They were able to pick up some kills while at the same time healing up their own teammates at the same time. Great job by them. And again, I think it just comes down to a little bit of indecision making coming out of NC Cyber Academy, not able to make some of those decisions at the right time, either be switching some of the characters off to maybe get a little bit of an advantage, like we saw the change from Roadhog to Renata. Once they did that, they were able to move right in, but again, not using that ult. You have a really big ult that does a lot of damage, but you don't use it, and then ultimately some of your team gets killed. So some of those decision making processes, maybe if they clean them up coming into week 6, they might still have a chance to get into those conference championship.
Yeah, we saw moments of brilliance from them, and times that they looked really good, but other times that they felt kind of disjointed and starting to stagger out a little bit, or somebody just dies super early in the fight, and now they're out of the equation, which makes things a lot more difficult for the rest of them. So need to tighten that up just a little bit, find those teamwork situations. Positioning so important, I'm noticing, in this game. You've got to make sure that you're just close enough to be able to output damage, but not so close that you don't have an escape option when you need it. So these players need to learn how to play around those kind of points on the map that are easier for them to survive. But let's take a look at the leaderboards to see how everything else is shaken up here. Looks like Durham School of the Arts and Westover, the only 2 undefeated teams yet to drop a single game. Very impressive. I believe Durham is the team with Swag Boy. And JP Knapp now moving into 3rd place with that victory, 4-1, having only lost 2 games so far.
Very impressive. NC Virtual Academy, though, still in a really good spot, sitting 5th, of course. So going into this last week, they still have a chance to retain their spot. There are a couple of other teams that are 3-2 as well with the 2-game advantage. Luckily, they have that one map that's keeping them in that 5th place spot. So they come out strong week 6. They should be sitting pretty good. for that, as well as having a good seed going into those conference championships. So we do see on the other side, though, NC Cyber A, as well as West Craven as well with 3-2, will want to be looking to try to maybe take one of those spots from one of those 3-2 teams as well. So of course you got to keep on your toes going into this last week to make sure that you're able to make that conference championship and possibly even the states.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this, we have 6 teams tied at 3-2. So it's very likely that there's going to be a score or a tiebreaker going to have to be employed on this leaderboard should we come down to it. So yeah, this week is going to be super important. You lose this one, you probably don't have a chance to qualify. So if you're on that bubble there in that 3-2 category, make sure you show out this week. It's going to be super exciting to see which of these teams qualify for the conference championship coming up on November 23rd and 24th, depending on which game you play. Make sure you guys are clearing your schedule. If your team is in that top 8, that's where you will be playing to qualify for the state championship, which will happen on, I believe, December 14th. So a lot of exciting stuff coming up, but we have 2 more games to go through. We got Smash Brothers and Rocket League, so don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll have some more action for you to watch.
obvious things are it's a space for students to game, but I think this space provides a lot of other learning opportunities and experiential learning opportunities for students. The career transfer pieces, whether you're in media, production, or you're going event management, we have an opportunity to train students to get out in the community to help us lead a lot of different esports initiatives, both locally, regionally, and nationally. Tournament hosting, sponsorships within the esports community, continuing to build our competitive edge with our student recruitment. I think that UNCG's positioned itself to really be the leaders on that forefront.
Hello and welcome back to Week 5 coverage in Sandhills for VESL. I'm Eli, joined with Chris. As always, today we've got some more action for you. Next, we're going to jump into Super Smash Brothers. Looks like we got Grays Creek, Hoke B, and Edgecombe. So I know that this is going to be a pretty consequential one for all the players here, because Grays Creek and Edgecombe both 5-3 right now in their season. So they're in the top 16. Keep in mind it is top 16 from each pool for the conference championship for Smash. But they're not like comfortably there, right? Like to lose 2 matches in a row could have them dip if players below them are winning both matches. So it's going to be really important for them to get at least 1 victory here. I think would probably secure them a spot in the top 16. And then Hoke County is 3-5. So they're on the other end. They're actually currently outside of the top 16. But if they're able to get 2 W's here, could find themselves in the top 16. So very interesting matchup we have for you guys. Super Smash Brothers, always exciting. I feel like it's one of our more competitive. Certainly has the most players. But let's go ahead and jump into the first game here. Looks like it's going to be Grays Creek versus Hoke, and we've got Angie Boy again. We've seen him a couple times on the Terry, this time against Block Boy on the King K. Rool.
Both of them starting out, and again, we love seeing the Terry. We've seen it a lot. King K. Roll, though, heavy hitter as well, but we do see the Terry, so Angry Boy coming out pretty strong like we've seen them do as well in previous matches, you know, getting a fair bit of percentage onto that King K. Roll pretty early. Of course, as we've talked about plenty of times before, that go meter for Terry coming out at 100% does give them the extra abilities and really strong hitting abilities as well, so the King K. Roll will still want to be careful with that. But any big differences in this matchup between these two here?
I mean, King K. Rool has a lot of super armor, but so does Terry, so it's going to be really interesting. Almost all of K. Rool's move have super armor with that belly coming out, but you can break the belly kind of like a shield. But yeah, now we have the go meter online. And it looks like we've got the, let's see if he activates a Buster Wolf. He does go for one, but the dash attack's going to seal the deal. And so far I've noticed when Terry has K. Rool in the corner, he's able to really apply pressure like this. But as soon as K. Rool gets out of the corner, that's where he starts to rack up his damage. Let's see if he can get off the ledge here.
Trying to get back to that center, like you said, or at least on one of those platforms. But 161%, you think Terry's going to just go ahead and get a nice little hit to try to get them out. King K. Rool want to get as much percentage as possible onto that Terry before that happens. Again, on this edge, though, has to be a little careful. That nice little helicopter coming out of the head there, helping them get to the top. Trying to find a connection, both of them looking to get some damage on the other, but kind of just, you know, filling each other out a little bit more here. It looks like King K. Rool doing a good job, sitting at 182%, and has to be pretty happy with this first stock though right now.
Yeah, I mean, Terry's got to be careful here. It seems like he's had trouble securing the stock without go meter, and as soon as K. Rool took the early lead there, it was a massive blow to Terry. Terry would like to get his first KO with go meter while he still has his stock if possible, but now playing from behind. See how Block Boy approaches. It's going to be a dash attack. It's not going to be punished for that. Quick grab, no pummel. Goes for the back air spike. Tries to go for another one, but doesn't get the full hop. Now with the down throw, he's going to get grounded. Ooh. Goes for the forward tilt, but looks like a great mash out from Terry there.
Terry, 132%, so we'll have to see if they can utilize a bit of that go meter a little bit better. There we saw a nice connection to get the King K. Rool to about 96%. There it is, finally starting to find some of the confirms, but a great blunderbuss and cannonball there to get some damage. Can they get this stock taken away before the go meter does too much damage? Ooh. There it is.
It's actually such a big deal playing against Terry to get him off the map and KO'd before they can even use the go meter at all. So big lead here, but high percent. Now it is erased instantly. We're basically even here. Last stock situation. Both players have to have felt themselves out a little bit so far.
There it is, the breaking of the belly, like you said, onto that King K roll. But Blunderbuss is going to be able to suck him up. Can they get any more damage? Oh!
The spike was enough, and I don't think Terry had their double jump back air spike coming through, sends Terry to the depths. And either didn't have a jump or hit the panic up B there and was not able to recover. So we've seen this Terry have a lot of success against a lot of other players. Like we said, I think both these players oh, sorry, is Hoke on in this match? I think they are. Yeah, so Hoke is the one that's 3 and 5. But the Terry, I think if he can get K. Rule off the stage and stuck in the corner, K. Rule doesn't have a lot of fast options to get back to the center. But it was once he got to the center and started landing these dash attacks that he really put Terry into a difficult predicament time and time again. But if Terry can stay alive with the go meter and secure a stock or two and then carry that momentum, maybe land a few go attacks into the next stock, that could be his path to victory here.
We will have to see when they get into the second stage here. We're going to jump back in. Can Hoke continue the momentum, or will Grace Creek be able to even up the stages and force a number 3?
All right, any switch up? Yeah, okay, so K. Rule winning that game. Hoke is going to actually switch to the Rob. Now, I don't know if I agree with this. I feel like the K. Rule was actually a pretty good matchup against Terry, but Rob, one of the best characters in the game, period. Doesn't matter who you're playing against, so it can't be a bad pick. It's just, I feel like this Terry typically gets better as the set goes on. Let's see if he can find some success against the robot this time.
We have seen Block Boy between both the Rob and the King K roll, so we do know that it is something that they play as well. Again, though, we'll have to see if they can continue the momentum from the King K roll over to the Rob, as it looks like the Terry is finally, as you said, starting to get up and get some of that damage and look a little bit better this time. But going back to what you're talking about, Hoke will really want to take this, as cleanly as possible so they can get possibly into that conference championship position there. Of course, Angie Boy going to want to do their best to continue and see if they can rise up that ladder as well.
Oh,
but great job by the Rob.
That was such a good read. The charge forward smash, waited for the perfect timing. Terry just a little bit too far to get the invincibility on the ledge grab, so excellent read of the situation. Going to put the top down, see if they can maybe put it into a position to set up a combo situation. Laser comes out. You see the Z drop of the blade as well. And all of a sudden, Rob's kind of coming to life here.
164%. We'll have to be a little careful, though, with Rob. May not be as heavy as the King K roll. But right now, as you said, they just are finding all the right inputs. They're confirming a lot of their hits here. And they've already got the Terry up to 80%.
Yeah, and Terry now just kind of throwing out some panic options. Okay, it looks like down tilt or down smash there. That'll be what seals the deal. Now, Block Boy with the 88% lead. The thing is, now that Terry is not playing against K. Rule and he's playing against Rob, who has almost no super armor on attacks, I feel like Terry should feel a bit more comfortable to make these approaches. Okay, yeah, I like this. You have to start approaching the Rob and not give him a chance to use the abilities like the laser beam and the top. As now putting him back in the corner, and this is where Terry shines best. Power dive is going to send him close to the blast zone, but not enough to secure the KO.
All right, they definitely want to try to get this stock here. Now they have the go meter. Let's see if they're able to utilize it a little better against the Rob than they did against the King K roll here. Trying to find their options, being a little more patient there.
Oh.
Laser coming out, just missing, but Rob trying to do their best, and there it is. They're able to confirm it.
Just an up smash, though. No go meter necessary. Kind of used the go ability from a little bit too far away. Power duck going to be a safe way to get back to the stage. Going to do it too many times, though, in the middle of the stage. Down throw into up smash. That is a true combo at certain percents. And huge answer back here from Block Boy. Would like to close this out, but Terry is the one in the lead now.
All right, 63%. Has to be a little bit more careful getting hit once again to about 90 or 79. Finally finding some damage of their own. Looks like a pretty good combo there. It's actually evening up a bit. Great grab into the throw. Trying to see if they can confirm any more hits here. great job actually even it back up, and it's such an even game between these two.
Yeah, that was such a good landing neutral air, one of Rob's best approach options there. Such a large hitbox, can also go backwards with it, and it's going to be, okay, I thought he was going to convert that jab into another power dunk that probably would have secured the game, but now both players back on stage. This could go either way. Look at the pressure. Finally, the power dunk goes through, and Angie Boy ties up the series. That was impressive.
It looked like Hoke on that end, as you said, the Terry was having a lot of success when the Rob or King K roll was on the edge, and then it's kind of sticking on the edge, not trying to get towards the center of the platform. Maybe it was a misplay a little bit from Hoke County there. Good job from Grace Creek taking advantage of that and taking stage number 2 and forcing a third one out. But as you said, for Hoke County, you kind of have to make sure that you win these 2 games today versus Grays and Edgecombe to stay in contention for the conference. So we'll have to see if maybe they switch back to the King K roll, because we haven't really seen Grace Creek swap off of the Terry too much.
Yeah, I think the Terry is going to be locked in for sure. Finally feeling himself as well after that win. Like you said, just having really good stage presence. It was kind of an explosive way to finish that game as well. I think Hoke County was not expecting such an offensive burst of action there, maybe expecting Terry to play around the ledge a bit more carefully, but no, Terry just jumps right in his face and uses the attack to seal the deal. And I like that. You got to be a bit unpredictable and take chances in this game if you're going to win. So let's go ahead and jump into game 3. This is where everything is on the line. Such an important matchup here. And the K rule is back. So, like this decision, probably should have just taken the K rule into game 2, but now we're on Final Destination. A little bit different. There are no platforms that you can run and hide to. Just the one stage here. Power dive going to come through, and I think this Terry is going to be playing with a bit more, I guess, aggression here going into this game. But now that that super armor is back, it might play against him.
We do see both of them coming out swinging, though. Both of them don't want to make, as you said, get on the back foot going into this last one, as it is will be pretty big for both of them no matter what. But as you said, the Terry just, once he gets going, seems to find their groove really well. But kind of forcing them a little bit of ledge mind games from both of them coming out right here. Again, though, only at 50%. This Terry has done a really good job transitioning from map number 2 into 3. Great confirm there, throwing out the projectile, seeing if they can get any damage. But King K roll doing a good job getting back into it, forcing them almost getting the Terry to 100. Wow.
Multiple great uses of the blunderbuss, make it 3 in a row as he's going to get the KO off the side with it as well. K-Rule, he had such an impressive sequence there, forcing the air dodges and then reading the air dodges, just making life difficult for Terry. But Terry answering back in a big way, now taking center stage, and this could go either way. Terry's going to start out with some damage, but keep in mind the weight difference here. This is actually about even right now because of the difference in how much damage and how many KOs need to be landed. Now I think you could say Terry has the lead here, as K-Rule at 100% could die off the side.
Has to be careful with the King K-Rule, but we finally see some damage coming out. They're trying to do their best and maybe see if they can get another great stock like they did in the first one. But wow, this Terry is just doing such a good job on the side there, confirming these hits, trying to see if they can get that KO to see if they can take a little bit more of a lead here. But oh, what a great spike.
Yeah, the back air is such a disrespectful way to end the stock, but check that out. A power dunk answers right back, basically still in his invincibility frames off the Angel platform. Breaking through the super armor there with multiple attacks, so Terry adjusting to the tools of King K. Rool. Now, once again, we see that patented corner pressure. Should be able to get back to the stage, no problem. Can he do it again? He's going to actually retreat to center stage. Give him a little bit of space to work with, and it might pay. Might pay for that, but oh no, is that another SD? That is not how you'd like to see this series end, in a bit anticlimactic fashion. You got to be careful with when you use that power dive, because I don't think it grabs the ledge automatically. So he actually went under the ledge and was too far down for his up B to make it back. I think he had also burned his jump in the prior play as well. So, I mean, props to Hoke County, who, like we said, kind of back against the wall, 3-5, now 4-5 after he takes this W. We'll see if he can have success against Edgecombe, who's also in, or sorry, Grace Creek, who's also in this. But wow, what a insane first game that we just witnessed.
As you said, that third stage had me out of my seat. Both of them back and forth, just trading stocks almost at that point. And, you know, it just goes to show the level of play between both of them. Unfortunately, that just one little misstep from Grace Creek was the deciding factor. And as you said, kind of fizzled out with such a, you know, big buildup. You know, unfortunately, it happens. You know, you can't let it get to you. As you said, we still have a couple more games left. So we'll have Grace Creek versus Southwest Edgecombe into the next one. Again, this is kind of actually a little bit bigger for Grace Creek now going into it because they just lost that one. So they have to be a little bit more careful if they want to keep their games up and maybe even it out. But let's go ahead and jump into that one and see what it has in store for us.
All right, and Hope County probably happy they're not playing right now. They can take a look to see what Edgecombe brings to the table here as they're on the Zelda to start off. And maybe they can study a little bit, but for now, let's see, can the Terry find a way in? Just jumps right over the Shadow Soldier, and that is one way to get around the Zelda. So Zelda is a champion that has a long startup for a lot of her moves, but if they can hit, they can do a ton of damage. But for right now, looks like Terry's normal pressure game is very effective so far.
Living true to his name, might be a little angry from that last match, soft deathing. To allow Hope County to take that win, taking out a little bit of their aggression on the Zelda here, as they are doing a good job of confirming all their hits so far, getting the Zelda to about 104%. Maybe a little bit of a lighter weight character from then that King K roll, so it's not going to take as much to get some of these kills out. And actually doing a great there, as I say, takes the first stock, but it seems they have a good read on the distance between that Shadow Shoulder as well. Hasn't really gotten hit by it, so maybe they know this matchup pretty well.
It is a long move, and you can see the Shadow Soldier being basically constructed in front of you, so it's pretty easy to dodge it, but got to start being a bit mixy with it. It's usually not something you want to start the fight with, but maybe throw it out in the edge guard situation. I like the edge pressure here from Zelda. She really needs to even the stocks here as quickly as possible. Tries to find the up tilt, but that's going to miss and will be punished for it. Dash attack's going to send Terry off stage momentarily. Another dash attack. Going for the strong forward air, and it's another power dive self-destruct here coming out of the Terry. Gotta probably stop moving that, or stop using that move off stage. You can just use one of the flip attacks to get back.
We'll have to see the adjustments they make over this time, because it seems like, again, you know, we say this a lot, but if they don't SD, then they usually do a pretty good job, and sometimes they're their own worst enemy. Again, they've already gotten the Zelda up to 115%, and this is around about 130 was where we saw the stock taken last time, so around this here. We'll have to see if they can convert it, but actually finally hitting that Shadow Shoulder, and oh, wow, getting them, but Go Meter is online. Ooh, but it won't matter now.
Strong hit of the up air, and they have taken the lead. Tries to go for the tricky teleport attack there, but Terry ready for it with a quick jab. But very impressive stuff. The jab lock as well out of the missed tech there. And let's see what Zelda has now. All of these attacks have a massive sour hitbox, but if the sweet spot is very small, but if it connects, it's one of the strongest hits in the game. That's why we see a lot of these aerials come out. Pretty much all of Zelda's aerials work the same way in that fashion, but good rising tackle from Terry to even the stocks. Another last stock situation here.
Both of them doing really well on their last stock take, so it is the Zelda finally picking it up a bit and able to get some of that damage that we're seeing out now onto the Terry. But of course, Terry does a good job when needed as well, finally confirming some of those hits. Both of them at about the same percentage, so it could be any person's game at the moment. And you know, both of them going back and forth, and may actually just be down to Engie Point, making sure that they don't SD here. But again, those good hits coming out of Zelda, you know, again, getting Terry to about 100%.
Oh!
And wow.
The teleport attack, but it's not enough. Goes for it again. That was pretty risky. Trying to style on him at this point. Okay, doesn't get punished for it. Okay, side B's not going to connect. This could go either way. Terry's probably going to throw out the Buster Wolf, and he does. Goes right through the Shadow Soldier. What a crazy end of that game.
Well, if anything, it is exciting. These games have been crazy so far for Smash, and I am loving it. Both of the games so far, you know, we're coming back and forth. We're seeing stocks being taken and traded at this point, you know, and I'm excited for this next stage. You know, it looks like it could go any person's way. You know, I don't expect the Zelda to be switched off. It finally looked like they were able to start converting a lot of their attacks onto the Terry towards those last couple of stocks in the first stage there as well. So I'd like to see it running back and see if they're able to convert anything. But, of course, I haven't seen too much of Southwest Edgecombe A, so not sure if they have any other champions in the tank or not. So we'll have to see going into that next one.
Yeah, the Zelda didn't look bad, but it did feel like they were going for the teleport trick a little bit too much, and I think Terry started to read it towards the end, but still got hit by it, almost KO'd. But let's jump into game 2. Let's see if the Zelda stays online. We're pretty positive we're going to see the Terry stay there, as we've only seen Angie Boy use that character. Instead, it's going to be the Piranha Plant, which actually has some similarity. Well, really not that many similarities with Zelda, but this will be really interesting to see how this one plays out.
We have seen some other Piranha Plants as well before actually do really well in this region, so I'm excited to see maybe they've learned something from each other. But right now, Terry again picking up, doing pretty well in this first opening sequence here onto the Piranha Plant on the Pokemon stage here as well. So both of them going back and forth. We'll have to see if Piranha Plant can start confirming in their hits again. It is another do-or-die situation here for the side of Grace Creek. They really want to make sure that they pick this up in as few stages as possible to keep their run for the conference championship in one of the better situations. But wow, Piranha Plant actually coming out pretty big, taking that first stop.
The spiky ball KO off the top. He wasn't even that high percent. I mean, Piranha Plant hits harder than people realize. We also see the neutral B tactics coming out, and then he's making a combo video out of him now. All of a sudden, this Piranha Plant has come to life. Forward smash going to connect as well. And then another, I think that's actually up tilt, sends him to the sky. Go Meter online already on the second stop.
Has to utilize the Go Meter. Maybe they can get the Buster Wolf out and get, quick KO, and hopefully can utilize some of that Go Meter into the second one. But again, we saw that Piranha Plant take that stock so quickly after, and here confirming another hit as well with that spike ball.
Wow.
I don't know if it's spike ball or volleyball now here on it, but this Piranha Plant, the switch up, we were wondering about it, and it's been good so far.
It's actually so interesting to think about the matchup here, because Terry does like to approach from that 45-degree angle above his opponent with the power dunk, but the spike ball perfectly covers that. Maybe that was what Southwest Edgecombe was thinking about as one of his blind spots with Zelda. Now can perfectly cover all of the approach options that Terry is going for. Love the adjustment here.
They're doing a good job, trying to bait out some of these attacks on the ledge from that Terry, and they keep getting to the middle of the stage, what seems to be exactly where they want to be each time. Finally, Angie Boy is going to confirm that stock, but still, you have to get through at least 2 more on this on-fire Piranha Plant. And as you said, they're just predicting it each time. And there it is, again and again. They're so good with the timing of that spike ball. And there it is.
Wow.
So quickly.
Predicted the jump there as well. It just went ahead and down smash in the forehead of Terry, getting smacked by the pot of the plant. I mean, that was incredible. The difference between the Zelda and the Piranha Plant was massive. And we've got another game 3, Chris. We're usually lucky if we have 1, but now we've got 2. And wow, I'm assuming he sticks with the Piranha Plant. I think Terry has to really stop and think about his approaches to Piranha Plant and be more careful and cautious. I think maybe won the first game and had maybe too much confidence going into this, and we'll have to see if he takes a more defensive approach into game 3 and maybe turns the tide of the series. But let's go ahead and jump into game 3 and see how these players face off in the last game. All right, so Piranha Plant staying strong. Have to agree with it after what we just witnessed. But now we're on Final Destination. Should be a little bit more difficult to find the spiky ball hits, but see that neutral B come out quite a bit as well. Not really seeing too much of the Poison Cloud. I know when Mirage Eagle was the other player that we had on the broadcast on the Piranha Plant, used the Poison Cloud quite a bit. But I'm just opting for their normal attacks for the most part.
Oh, if it's not broke, don't fix it there. And as we see it, right now they've made great adjustments to the stage, saying that they don't exactly need the spiky ball to, you know, finish off, you know, just using these normal attacks here. Finally, that poison cloud coming up, and they'll get the first stock so quickly.
It just feels like it's so explosive, and Terry does not have the answer. I mean, there has to be something to be said for playing against a champion that you don't have much experience against. Can be a little confusing at first. You don't recognize what options are best for you to use in your toolkit against their toolkit. You don't know what they're going to go for. Look at all these tricky mix-ups that we're seeing from Muskie Husky. Wow, he's got such good control with the spiky ball as well, because Piranha Plant will kind of like blow it into the air at a certain distance, and then once you let go is when it finally pushes it out. But a great answer back finally from Terry to keep this one close.
All right, we'll have to see if Terry can finally get back a little bit and maybe confirm some of these hits, take a quick stock here. But again, it's just the Piranha Plant just seems, as you said, these reads are just so good coming out of Muskie Husky, and you have to think that maybe they, you know, took that time in the first game to watch, to really learn how Angry Boy played, use the Zelda to maybe feel them out a little bit more, and then swap over to this Piranha Plant to just, you know, take these two maps fairly quickly. And there it is. They're on game point here, and you really have to see something come out of Angry Boy, swap it up somehow so that they can maybe get this stock and then make it a one-stock game going into it. They're finding some confirms right now, doing exactly what they need to, but they have to take this fairly quickly.
Angry Boy would hate to lose another game 3 back-to-back. This is such a big moment for him specifically. 121%. You got to think any stray hit should be able to finish off this plant, but the plant is well watered and ready to fight right now. The super armor coming through from the neutral B. The power dunk goes the wrong way, and Muskie Husky just finding these stray hits and will eventually just win the game as a result, as we wait for the end of the recovery to let go of the spiky ball. Going to use the upbeat to land on stage, but will get punished by the Buster Wolf. Go meter online. This is absolutely doable for Terry, but they have to be careful.
Piranha Plant not looking like they're playing this a little bit slower, trying to find their options, maybe bait Terry into an unfavorable situation there. Terry able to confirm some hits. They'll have to keep going though. We've seen how quickly this Piranha Plant can take one. Again, using that spiky ball to try to get it. And there it is. Oh my gosh.
Just a raw forward smash will close the game. And wow, what an impressive performance out of Piranha Plant. Edgecombe now going to take the W there, and Angry Boy going to lose both series in game 3. That's got to hurt a bit. So are we going to see a Piranha Plant versus, sorry, who was the first competitor?
King K. Rool.
King K. Rool, that's right. King K. Rool versus Piranha Plant would be a very interesting matchup, one that we don't see often. We'll have to see if that's what they go for. But yeah, Grays Creek, unfortunately, going to be 0-2 so far. We're going to see Hoke County go up against Edgecombe here shortly, but that was a crazy couple matches, Chris.
It was, and, you know, this is exactly what Edgecombe wants going into this because they pick up that win. Both of these now, Hoke and Edgecombe, both picked up wins. We did have Hoke was able to sit and watch, knowing that the Zelda is in the back pocket as well, but possibly going to see that Piranha Plant, so we'll have to see how both of them mix it up because the Rob is also there for Hoke.
True, good point. Lots of different possible characters here. Let's go ahead and jump into it and see what these two decide. Okay, it is going to be K. Rool and Piranha Plant. This is what I was looking for. And we saw Black Boy land a couple good back airs to send a spike down this, to the bottom of the map to defeat Terry in the prior set. Trying to use the counter of the belly off the rip, but so far unsuccessful, and a quick 55 from Piranha Plant.
Quick, but it looks like King K. Rool finally getting some damage on the board as well. It's not going to matter because right now the Piranha Plant just seems like they're just on the roll, but wow, great job there from the King K. Rool to even it up. Both of them very hard hitting characters, so both of them will have to be careful. King K. Rool getting out a little bit on top here. Going to get answered though by the Piranha Plant, and it just seems so back and forth at the moment.
These platforms actually kind of playing against Piranha Plant so far this game. Maybe that's why they chose Zelda in the first series. This map doesn't feel as good for Piranha Plant because the spiky ball will just often land on the platform instead of on their opponent's head, who can just comfortably stand underneath it. But so far, yeah, K-Rool take the first stock at 119%. Still got some work left to do for Piranha Plant, but no, the up smash is so strong. It keeps KOing at percentages that I do not expect. Maybe I'm underestimating this character here.
Eli going to have to play against a little more Piranha Plant than himself to make sure that doesn't happen to him. But there we go. We do see both of them coming out. And the Piranha Plant, just once they start getting these confirms on the hits, just seem to do so well with comboing up on them. It looks like that super armor on the belly there hasn't worked out too much in the favor of the King K-Rool. Again, this Piranha Plant maybe just, figuring out this match halfway through it here so far. We'll have to see if King K-Rool can come back and find another quick stock like they did at the beginning. This was about the percentage that they were hot last time as well when they finally started getting these hits, and there it is. Getting that. Can they get it? But no.
Wow, so tricky with the neutral beat. I'm noticing there's so many moves of Piranha Plant that you can just change the way you're using them. You can change the timing on almost all of his attacks. The neutral B can be charged and then redirected. So I see the ground into uppercut will KO. Blast Lock situation. I'd like to see some more of those ambiguous moves from Piranha Plant. Kind of throw this player off guard. Both players hitting each other with projectiles at the same time. Piranha Plant going to land on the map, but miss the neutral B. This time, the spiky ball does nothing as well. And the Block Boy's doing such a good job of just maintaining this pressure. Tries to use a blunderbuss again. Maybe we'll dash attack at the ledge here. No. The regrab, I'm surprised it's not punished. Regrabs multiple times. Lose your invincibility when you do that. But up smash going to be the tool again into the spiky ball. Can he find the KO here?
Oh!
Another up smash, but the percent's not high enough, but the spiky ball will do it. And the Muskie Husky with the comeback victory, 93% last stock situation. And this Piranha Plant is on fire right now.
Yes, it ate one of those fire plants from Mario, and it looks like they're just going with it. That spiky ball, as you said, maybe they had a little bit of trouble with it at the very beginning, the platform stopping it. But then once they figured it out, it started landing. And then once again, like it did against Grace Creek, was just such a nuisance to the King K-Rool. You get hit by it, does a lot. And then next thing you know, you're getting hit by, the other following up moves from the Piranha Plant. And I don't expect the switch going into the next one. We could possibly see a Rob, but do you think they'll stick with the King K-Rool or switch to the Rob for stage number 2?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I think Rob probably has better options against Piranha Plant than K-Rool, but I mean, the K-Rool, he was one hit away from winning that, so he might just be feeling like, okay, if I just clean up a few interactions, maybe don't get hit by the neutral B as much or the spiky ball, there's ways to come back in this that can have a meaningful difference. So I don't know. I could see an argument for either side, but we'll go ahead and jump into game 2. Let's see what he did opt to choose here. Okay, so he threw us both for a loop. So instead, it's going to be King DDD. So Block Boy clearly loving these heavyweight characters. What do they have in store? I actually like this better than both. He said, you got a spiky ball. Let me show you a spiky ball. I'm the first guy in Smash to have one of those, but this will be a very interesting matchup.
It will, and ultimately pulling an Eli on us, just switching up the character as much as possible here. We'll have to see how it opts though. So far, the Piranha Plant just, continuing the reign of terror that we've seen so much. DDD able to get back to the ledge, so it looks like they do know the character fairly well, at least to not SD on accident there. But right now, just still doesn't seem to have any answer for the Piranha Plant just yet.
So interestingly, King of DDD Spike Ball can actually be used against him. So I expect it to be hit back. Okay, he misses the hit on it, but if Piranha Plant can land a hit on it, can send it back, but with a very sneaky under the platform up smash, will take the first stock at 144%. Big body of King DDD will take a lot of damage to KO. It's going to actually land with the up B there with the falling attack. Now with the up throw into up air, and up air is such a strong move for King DDD. Comes out very fast as well. And DDD having a lot more success so far.
So far, that mallet has been working out there. That spike ball, maybe it's just the game of the spike balls right now. Like having the spike ball was all the difference maker that they needed. Already got the Piranha Plant up to 108% and taking the second stock at 162. This seemed exactly like the right move that they needed so far. 174, but still going strong.
Are we trending towards 3 game threes in one day, Chris? This is insane, the level of competition that we're seeing now. As now, looks like DDD has a full stock advantage. Piranha Plant needs to KO King DDD in a hurry because of how much damage it takes to take one of these stocks. There it is, a charged up smash, and he somehow finds a way to take the stock off the big body of King K. Rool, or sorry, of King DDD. They're both kings, man. I keep mixing me up.
They do, and but there it is, the mallet finding the hits that they need. Again, have to be careful because it's kind of the situation they were in last time. You have to get the conversion. You have to get this last hit to end this stage here. You don't want to give the Piranha Plant any time to get going.
That was a dangerous situation. Trying to hit him with the forward smash. This is so intense right now. Next hit will probably win. Can he land the up air? That would certainly close the stock here. The slow down ambiguous movement with the spiky ball. He said, you want to end my last stock with the spiky ball? I'm going to end your last stock with the spiky ball. And we have another game three. This is unbelievable right now, how close all these competitors are in this trio right now. I don't even know what to expect in this last game. Do they stay characters?
I would say I would with how they're going. But, you know, at this point, they could pull another Eli on us and just go for something completely different to try to mix it up. But they looked really good on the King DDD, though. So, you know, at this point, you know, when it matters so much, maybe you don't switch it up for something that is winning. Kind of like how they went back to the King K. Rool in the game number 1 to finish off on map number 3 there. Maybe they just stick with the King DDD on this one because to get into that conference championship contention, you know, they have to win this game here. So we'll have to see what they decide to do. They could throw us for a loop and go for another one, but let's jump into stage number 3 to see.
Let's take a look at it. Cannot wait to see how this one plays out. This has massive implications on the leaderboard, like Chris was just mentioning. These players close to the bubble, so every win super important here. This game could be the difference maker, and it's going to be the same 2 characters on Final Destination. How fitting, and so far pretty even to start.
Yep, both of them just kind of picking up where they left off, feeling each other out going into this last stage here. No platforms at all again, and a little bit of a small stage, but what a spike to get that first stop.
What are you doing off stage, man? You're going to get hit by the hammer, and he gets sent to the blast zone instantly. That was disgusting out of Block Boy. Starting to see why they've been so successful in other series. That was insane.
There it is, hammer time to start it off, but Piranha Plant trying to do their best to take this stock back quickly against the King DDD. Both of them flying off the edge there. He gets back, so knowing the character's limits to a T there seems really good. But oh no!
The SD at the worst time for Muskie Husky. This Piranha Plant has been doing so much work, and all of a sudden they've got to do way more work if they want a chance to win this one. You hate to see that. I mean, it's possible, but they really got to put this DDD in the blender for multiple stocks. And you have to feel like it's just a few hits for DDD to close this out.
Piranha Plant, we know they can get back in it, but right now the King DDD it seems like they've finally been able to get it. There, the spike ball, they do so much damage. Can they get another hit on it? Looks like Husky's trying to get back to the center of the stage on the edge there. Has to be careful from that mallet, as you said. But nice hit there to kind of stop the pressure from King DDD a bit. Oh my god, that hammer though.
Charged hammer is very scary when it comes out. That move does an unbelievable amount of knockback. Would have certainly KO'd this Piranha Plant even at as low as 60% probably, but avoids it for now. 181% on this DDD, just playing perfectly outside the range of that attack. Now charging a smash attack in the middle of the stage. Muskie Husky not going to fall for that one. Okay. Does finally land the KO. 85% though. Is this doable? I mean, it is, but unlikely for sure. Forward tilt, going to add some more percentage. And DDD's kind of just swinging a bit too much now. Understands the situation. Like, yeah, you only need one more hit, but make sure it's a good one. And DI mix up. That's a hard move to DI. You don't know if you should go right or left. I think he was DIing right. and he needed to DI left there to survive that hit. But, wow. What an insane trio of matches we just witnessed. The level of competition here was absolutely popping off. I mean, this leaderboard's going to see some movement for sure. All these players kind of moving around. Hope County got themselves at least one win, which is a pretty big deal, I would say. And let's see how everything matches up here in a moment.
Yeah, and especially with these teams, this is the level that you want to see from them in week 5.
There it is. So Hope County actually won 2 matches, and that's what we said. They had to win those 2 to get into the top 16. They did exactly that. 5-5 now. Meanwhile, Grays Creek 5-3. Or they were 5-3, now 5-5 as well. So Hope County needing to win 2. Grays Creek lost 2, so now they're on the bubble this next week. Going to be even more important for them. And Edgecombe with 1 win and 1 loss, now at 6-4, still about in the same spot they were before this match. So, wow, crazy result there, and that could be disaster for some of the other teams on the bubble, as that moves C-Tech outside of the top 16.
And we're looking at the second edge here. We have some teams here that, it's a little too late for them to get back into it. Unfortunately, it looks like Hope County A actually sitting at that 6-4. So it looks like the B team is the one that might be able to represent them going into those conference playoffs here coming into it. We'll have to see how the leaderboard racks up because, sitting at 5-5 though, if a team here possibly goes with 2 wins and gets that 6-6, and then a team that's 5-5 loses their 2 last ones in week 4, could actually move some of these teams in the latter half of Smash Brothers actually up to that top 16. So that's how big it is when we're playing these best of 3s. When you have the 2 matches in one day, it really could swing in your favor, as we saw for Hope County B there as well. So we'll have to see how they come out into this last week, because it's going to make all the difference.
You're exactly right. With double the matches from the other games, there's a lot more room for movement, especially going into this last week. If you win 2 or lose 2, that could be a big difference in your spot on the leaderboard. Hopefully it's on the winning side. But either way, shout out to all our competitors for such an exciting group of matches to watch there. It was a very even playing field across the board. We saw a multitude of different characters, a lot of low-tier characters as well, finding success. So props to all the players. But we're actually going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have the last match. This time it's going to be Rocket League. Don't go anywhere.
advanced piece of technology from an esports and STEM perspective. Input from the mayor of Charlotte, Vi Lyles. He actually needs it. Because the Love and Life Music Festival is an amazing place. The main stage VIP is even better.
I told you about the esports big rig that'll be there. What's your favorite game?
Between either Madden or 2K.
You think you'll beat Bob one?
Depending on how often he plays video. Yeah.
Why not celebrate a birthday with an opportunity of a lifetime? So let's go with the birthday girl right here. We made this game partnering with Epic Games in our own North Carolina. This wouldn't be possible without our boy Steve Isaacs over here from Epic Games. He brought us the partnership that made the map of the festival. Love and Life Music Festival is about to take over.
No, you just keep going straight. You'll find the victory here. Oh, we got a shortcut. We got a shortcut. Shortcut. Guess who's gonna win it? Let's hear you guys get high. Who did it? Who did it? Right there. Clear 5. Clear 5. Clear 5. Let's go.
All right. Love to see the mothership in action. One of the coolest things that we have here at VESL. Make sure if you have a chance to go check that out if it's ever nearby. But we're going to go ahead and jump into our last match in Rocket League. It's going to be Grays Creek and JP Knapp. Now, Grays Creek, one of the undefeated teams in the season right now. I think one of 2 or 3. So really want to win today as well to maintain their positioning atop the leaderboard. If it ends up being a strong win in their favor, they'd also like to score as many goals as possible to perhaps make that be the tiebreaker between themselves and the other undefeated teams. But let's go ahead and jump into it. It looks like JP Knapp on the other end of the spectrum are actually 1-3. So going into this match, they kind of need to win this and their next match if they want a chance to land in that top 8.
There we see names we have talked about a lot before. VESL, Real World, and Min doing such a great job this season so far, as you said, undefeated. So great to see how they come out here. But on the opposite end, JP Knapp have a chance to win. You know, nothing is ever decided at the stop, but what a great job from the start of Grays Creek. Gonna go ahead and score that first goal. What a goal it is. Look at this little flick up here.
They're so proficient with these abilities, and then followed it up with another tap in. I mean, Real World has been styling on everyone all season long. By the way, shout out to JP Knapp. This is the 3rd time that we've seen one of their teams on the broadcast today. We saw them in college football, in Overwatch, and Rocket League as Real World scores another goal. I'll remind you that Mopey Foot here is the tank player on the Overwatch team for JP Knapp. So a bit of multi-game specialist here. Right now, it's looking more like Overwatch might be his main game, though, as Grays Creek have made a quick 2-0 lead.
Always glad to see, you know, students helping out fellow students maybe if they need, or just having fun playing as well. But again, as you said, another goal scored, and then Real World trying to flex into another one there as well. Finally, we see JP Knapp clearing the ball onto the side, but once it's countered so quickly from Grays Creek, setting up there right in the middle. Can they have a follow-up? Actually, good read by Real World, knowing that they may not be able to get to it. Kind of getting to the edge there. Do we see a possible goal-scoring opportunity? What a great save by VESL.
That was insane. I mean, perfect timing, perfect boost control. Made sure he had just enough boost for that play. That's why Grays Creek's undefeated so far. They're able to find not only the impressive goals, but also the impressive saves. Seemingly having every part of the game figured out, as they now get a demo as well. Real World taking to the sky, going for another one of these aerial dribbles into goal. So far, JP Knapp, they did allow those first 2 goals quickly, but ever since then, have played some solid defense.
They have, and they've kind of stopped the bleeding after those 2 little quick goals. What you like to see, maybe they can get back. Of course, they're 3 minutes left. They can come back quickly. But, oh, there goes VESL picking up goal number 3. And little by little, this game is getting out of hand for JP Knapp.
Look at the spin around as well. I feel like just to add some style points to it. These players are just having fun at this point. They are all just so impressive. They work so well around the field together. I feel like as the season has gone on, their teamwork has also gotten better, and it's just been really impressive to watch.
We'll have to see, though. JP Knapp can make a little adjustments. We saw a little bit of life from them earlier. But oh, no, a miss right there. VESL not going to be able to convert, but you have to be careful on those defensive efforts. You don't want to let goal number 4 come in. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. If they can get a goal now, they might be able to have enough momentum to try and tie up the game. But it has to start now. But what a great shot and good defensive effort there, though.
Yeah, good defensive effort. JP Knapp have had a couple solid stops so far, but the problem is they've been on defense most of the game. Finally, with an offensive opportunity. It's not going to go through, though. Grace Creek quickly moving this across the field. VESL with the twist through the sky, barely misses it, but it seems to be Vel's kind of, it's like his signature move. He loves to go for that aerial spin. This time it doesn't connect, though.
Right off the edge, maybe kicking themselves a little bit there for a little bit of the miss angle. But again, it's so close each time. You just think at this point, not if they're going to score number 4, but when they're going to score number 4. And there they are, getting it closer to the edge of that goal on JP Knapp. So it's just kind of lived here. Permanent residents, can they find a second? They don't find it just yet. But here we do see them setting up VESL in a good position. Gets the ball on top, a little bit of a dribble, but once again, defensive efforts coming out of Mopi is going to stop that.
Wow, that was a pretty tough situation there for both teams, but both teams really just kind of keeping this ball in the air. Whenever one team looks like they're about to set up a goal, it is very easily stopped by the opposition. And like you said, it does kind of feel like a matter of time. And Grace Creek is creating so many opportunities for themselves. It's just a matter of JP Knapp slipping up for this goal to find its target. You see Nin now on the other side. Moves the ball to the sky, tries to maybe set up a play for VESL, and it's just barely going to bounce too high, but Real World's there to clean it up. I think that was all 3 members of the team getting a touch on that one.
Team effort from there goes, barely bounces off the crossbar there. Real World in a good position to make sure that they follow up again. There's that team synergy, knowing that they're going to trust their teammates to get it on frame, and then for someone to follow it up. 4 goals, 40 seconds left. Maybe at this point, if you're JP Knapp, you want to at least try to score at least 1 to get a little momentum going into game number 2, as game number 1 might be a little bit out of reach. A little bit of misplays from each other there, a bit running into each other, and taking advantage of it, of course, is Grace Creek. They want to find number 5. They're not going to stop scoring if possible. Great demolition there to maybe stop that attack a little bit. There it is, a little backflip there. Can they get the shot on target? They can, and there it is, goal number 5.
Clean. We talked about how important it is if this ends up being a stop, if JP Knapp do not answer back, then Grace Creek, every goal is pretty important for their position on the leaderboard. Like we said, taking the first seed can make a huge difference in your ability to progress into the next match here, and also to progress into the state championship, which is obviously what all of these players have their eye on this late into the season. JP Knapp would like to get a goal on board for similar reasons as well. Here we go. Time looks to be running out as the ball does touch the ground. And impressive win from Grace Creek here. Very curious to see the stats here. Looks like Real World and VESL, like we're used to seeing, with massive stats. There is digits in every column for both of those players. 3, 2, 4, 1, 2 for Real World, 2, 1, 5, 2, 2. Look at the shots on goal difference, though. I mean, 10 total shots on goal from Grace Creek, just 3 on the side of JP Knapp. And there's 3 saves on the side of Grace Creek. That's why there's no goals there.
No goals, and only 3 saves really needed with the amount of offensive pressure that they were putting on. We only see 4 from the side of JP Knapp, so it's only 1 more in turn, but it shows you how effective the scoring was for the side of Grace Creek. As you said, 10 shots on goal, but 5 of them were converted, and that's a pretty good ratio, a 50% ratio. So for every other shot they were taking, they scored. But kind of look at that as well. These demos, 6 demos coming out of the side of Grace Creek. They were trying to make it so that they had that car advantage as much as possible. 3 cars are better than 2 when it comes to this game. You always want to have that advantage if possible, and it led to some of the goals as well. Of course, VESL Real World, really big up there. Nin doing a good job playing that more defensive role, so of course doesn't have the highest score, especially when their offense is so dominating. They don't really get the chance to shine as much, but again, good job on them, setting up one of those goals as well from assisting their teammates. On the opposite end though, Mopey Foot, getting, had a really good dribble there, had a couple good saves. Raw as well, doing a good job. We'll have to see if maybe they can score in the next game. They had some chances, but weren't really able to get too many shots on target as we see here. So we'll have to see how game number 2 rolls out. But when you're against such a dominant team such as Grace Creek, you have to find some creative ways to get goals.
Yeah, I mean, Turtle Bro right now has to step it up a little bit on the side of JP Knapp. Was unable to, he had a fair amount of touches. It looks like about 30 touches. And then Nin obviously didn't even have to play the game all that much. It just felt like it was all VESL and Real World for a majority of it. But you have to think that if Nin also gets into the mix, that this will be even more of a difficult fight for JP Knapp. But, man, this is coming down to the wire. Both these teams, JP Knapp, like we said, they kind of have to come back and win this one if they want a chance to play in the conference championship this weekend. Grace Creek, though, they know they're going to make it. Now they're just fighting for their seat at this point.
And you definitely want to get that first place seed because it helps out so much when it comes to these bracket styles. Being able to know that you're on the front foot, helps out with who you're going to play against. And here we are getting into game number 2. We'll have to see how they come out. Can JP Knapp maybe get the first goal, maybe set a little momentum. A little bit of a misplay there from Mopey Foot. We do have Turtle Bros, kind of falling up on it. But there it is. Listen to this. This skill coming out of Real World into VESL. And there's such good synergy between these two.
It's just every single time. If one of them misses, the other one's right there. Look at that. Both cars flying in your face. What do you do if you're JP Knapp there? You just have to sit and watch it happen as they kind of had the different game plan there. It's like, okay, if the defender covers me, then you can take the ball and score on the other side. And this 2-pronged attack is very difficult to play against.
There it is. Once again, the little bit of an unsung hero. Nin in the back line setting it up so they can get forward. No, great save by Rod there. Is going to stop goal number 2 from the side of Grace Creek. Oh my gosh, look at that skill to get that shot from Real World. Doing a good job making sure the car is in the right angle so it can go forward. Nin pushing it forward. Will they be able to? Noki, nice little jump there, actually doing some pretty decent skill, showing that they can play both of these games. Can they find the goal? Nope, can't find the angle there. So it will be a counterattack from Real World, getting the flip reset there, seeing if they can get the ball into the position to help them set up. But right now, it's just kind of going back and forth between both of them. Real World knocking it up there, getting it to VESL, seeing if they can get that 1-2 play going up once again. Right there, not enough momentum, so Mopey Foot should be able to take it. Can they get it in the goal? But there goes Nin once again on defense. When you see Real World and VESL doing so much, you kind of forget that they're there. But then once those saves come out, it really shows that every person on the Grace Creek team knows what they should be doing.
You don't get undefeated here by random chance or with having any weak players on your team. So while Nin might be the player not getting as many goals as the other two, like you said, their efforts don't go unnoticed, and they said, you know what, I can score 2, man. Like, come on. I just typically sit back and make sure these 2 knuckleheads don't get the ball scored on them, but pushing through perfectly and actually bouncing off the opposing car. A little bit of an own goal there, but that's just a hard one to stop.
Once again, we're starting from the center of the pitch. seeing if Raw can maybe, we saw Raw have some really good skill a little bit earlier with that really good dribble, but just hasn't really been able to follow up too much. Again, it's going to be stopped from Nin there, pushing up to allow the go, but ooh,
wow,
right out the goal is Mopey Foot. Seeing a little bit of that defensive play from Nin maybe inspired them a bit, but again, you have to start playing a little bit offense though. Nin setting up, oh, there it is, goal number 2.
Maybe they're saying like, all right, look, let's switch it up. Let's give Nin a chance to score a few. Nice flip here. I mean, perfect execution there. So hard to stop that. I want Nin to score more goals because I like the goal effect that they have as well with the vines that start growing through. You hear the bird chirping as well. Such a cool effect though.
It is a lot of cool effects coming out of a lot of these cars. You see those twin dragons coming out of VESL and Real World. The growth, the little plant growth coming out, and then I want to see, let's see what JP Nap has. I want to see a couple of them, but we're going to see Real World first. The fireworks and those dragons coming out that we're so accustomed to seeing when we watch this Grays Creek team play. He said, oh, we've seen enough of that plants. Let's see some of my dragons come out, especially on this nice map here as well. Champions Field, making it look pretty good also. That's already goal number 4 with 2 minutes left. They should exceed the 5 goals that they had from game number 1 at this pace.
Yeah, this is looking like a dire situation that's only getting more dire for JP Nap. This is now kind of a show match here for Grays Creek. They want to show off their skills. And I kind of want to see what they can do here. It looks like they're setting up maybe a 2-pronged attack. VESL going to be there to pick up the ball. When Real World doesn't pick it up, we see the demo come out. Real World off the field for a moment, but doesn't matter. Nin, perfect position, and VESL swoops in to redirect the ball into the goal off of the defensive move from Nin. That was clean. Look, Nin just with the pickup, and then VESL just flying in the air, ready for it. The level of trust on this team is one thing that I've noticed as well. They're not all rushing back to the ball at the same time to stop it. They say, oh yeah, Nin's got it. As soon as Nin hits it, I'll make sure I redirect it into the goal. Real World trying to score the 6th off of the kickoff, but 5-0 already.
Nice. Once again, I want to see them get a goal so bad. They've done such a good job with some of this dribbling, just unable to really get it on target. And then at the other times it is, and Nin is there to stop. As we already see, Nin back there on defense, ready to play. VESL going to go ahead and make sure it doesn't have to get to that point just yet while trying to set it up. Can they get an extra touch? But again, it doesn't matter when everyone on Grays Creek is playing every position that they need to right now. They don't want to let a goal pass. As you said, those goal differences do matter at the end of the day, so they don't even want to let one in if possible. But JP Nap, they want to at least get one. They came to play. They want to at least get some level of goals to go in, even if it is already 5-0, but it's not going to matter. Look at that, getting between 2 people. Real World is so close, but great job by Raw to stop that goal.
Yeah, I mean, Real World almost scores in a 2v1 situation, basically. 30 seconds remaining. Real World, I feel like he's just testing himself at this point. Like, can I get away with this? He's going to set up Nin for the goal. Easy goal. That was a very clear setup situation there, as Real World knew he couldn't score it, but just places the ball perfectly in front. Nin has nowhere to go but put it right in the net. And now Nin going to be on the board with half of Grays Creek's goals this round.
Yeah, and I saw the stats. I'll wait till we get to the stats score sheet to talk about it, but Nin just had a crazy game so far. Look at this, job by Real World doing some of that dribbling, getting all 4s on those tires onto the ball. Can we get a goal? Oh. There it is, finally. Raw finally able to get the goal. The fireworks coming out. That's pretty much how I feel also. I want to see a goal for all the effort that they put in. They deserve it to the fullest right there as well. Great job, getting that 1 goal in, but 6-1. Grays Creek definitely feeling good. 4 seconds left. They should just let it end right here. Let that ball go down. Oh, no.
Oh! To add insult to injury, VESL said, yeah, let me just get this one more.
Turtle setting it up almost perfectly there.
No. I mean, that was a great pickup, though, from VESL to get that perfect angle. The downward angles above the goal, I find, are some of the most difficult ones to land. But you're exactly right. I said Nin needs to step it up, and they would make it even more difficult for JP Knapp. They did exactly that, topping everyone since game one as well. 728, massive score coming out. 4 shots on goal, 3 goals, 1 assist, and 4 saves as well. Insane game out of Nin.
It doesn't get any better than that. You already have a massive amount of goals coming out, assists, but then those saves, 4 saves. That means those balls were potentially going in, and they stopped them. And when you think about that, that's 4 across that they saved, which means at the same time, VESL and Real World were able to stay on the offensive. But then on top of that, they're like, oh, well, you know, maybe some missed shots, or maybe you're setting me up for the play. I'm going to convert this time, get a hat trick themselves, and just, again, 3 out of 7. VESL picking up 3 as well. Real World having that one, you know, goal also, which, you know, is a little bit less than that we usually see coming out of them. But again, just in a team game, this is what you like to see. Different people stepping up at different times, showing that they, you know, maybe not a great game 1 from them, but then a great, you know, game number 2. And Turtle Boss, 1 shot this time, though. So stepping it up a little bit, like you said, you want to see a little more out of them. At least 1 shot. Raw, though, got that 1 goal. I'm glad that they were able to see it. But Grays Creek, just so dominant.
Yeah, Grays Creek is just really impressing me. I think they're kind of at the point where they're showing like how versatile they are. It doesn't matter who's in what position. They're able to kind of make it work, like you said, in the middle of that game. It's been very impressive to watch. They've been so good at, if one of the shots misses, there's another player there to follow up. If one person is on defense, they trust that that player will hit it, and then they're putting themselves in position to score off of the defensive play. So are we looking at a potential state champion here? I mean, they're making a good case for it.
They are. We will jump into game number 3 and series point here for Grays Creek. JP Knapp has their work cut out for them if they want to get back into this, but of course it's not impossible. We have seen other games go the distance as well, but starting out, we do see a little bit of pressure coming out. Real World saying, well, wow, look at that dribbling coming out.
Ball control is crazy.
And they will find goal number 1. You hear this?
He literally just looked like a soccer player right here.
Yeah.
He's just kicking it left and right, left and right. Okay, he's on the left side. I'm going to hit it. Or on the right side. He hits the flip. Raw thinks that he has the stop, but that was just clean out of Real World.
Look at that, picking up the boost so that they're able to get that flip at the very end as well. So great knowledge of where those boosts are with that dribbling is going to allow them to pick up goal number 1 with about 25 seconds into the match as well. They wanted to come out to play in game number 1 after, you know, a little bit of a downplayed number 2. And wow, there it is, number 2 for them right away.
Another perfect setup. Look at this. So you see VESL putting it into the corner, putting it in front of the goal. Real World sees it happening in advance, positions himself perfectly to force it into the goal. And if you're JP Knapp, I mean, you got to be feeling a little rough at this point. It looks like they've almost, I don't want to say they've given up, but it's very hard to come back. You just got to tip your hat to the other team when they're playing this well.
You do. And sometimes, as you say, maybe it looks like they've given up. It just may be that Grays Creek is just playing that well. That's how it looks like. Again, Raw actually does such a great job when they get the ball, but when you're playing against 3 people who are so in sync, it's just hard to play against. And the setup, again, right there, Real World not able to convert on it this time. Going to get demoed. That's a little bit of insult to injury on it. And following up, saying that, well, one person's out, I'm going to follow up on it. VESL going to get stopped on that one, so we do see a little bit of a lull in the scoring here, but Real World trying to set up their team. Going to take it back a little bit, and there it is. They were watching some of those cheap beat videos, weren't they, with a little bit of that cheekiness on that dribbling skill, you know, and check those out if you haven't. But once again, Grays Creek showing a lot of knowledge of the game so far.
Yeah, Chief Beef, excellent educator. Going to be releasing one of his last videos for us very soon here. It'll be on Friday, I believe. So make sure you're catching all of those. I think his next video is all about game sense. You're going to definitely want to check that one out. And Real World finds a way to get it in. It looks like it might have been an own goal as a member of GP Nap tried to get it out, but it was just a little bit too deep for them to be able to get it out. Yeah, Turtle Bro tries his best to redirect it, but unfortunately he's going to just let it go into the corner there.
Good momentum on that ball going into the goal. Hits the side, hits Mopi, and just kind of goes in. Nothing much you can do there at that time. But VESL setting up a potential goal number 4. And it's so quick back to back.
Okay. Real World just doing what we've seen him do all season long already. I mean, what a sick setup, though, off the backboard from VESL with some fancy flip tricks there. Real World, of course, in the perfect position to close that one out. In now on defense, a rare miss that we see from him. And now, but you see how as soon as he misses it, maybe communicates that, and VESL and Real World both traversed basically the whole field to help this one out. Mopi trying to find a shot on goal, but he's going to shoot a little bit too high. Real World with a crazy drop stop, but Raw with the pressure finds its way in.
There it is, another goal for their efforts. At this point, it probably feels good just to score. And, you know, it shows that they haven't given up, though, which is what we like to see. You're down by 4, at least you're getting 1 goal in. Sometimes it could be, you know, a chance for them to get back in the game. We'll have to see how they take this momentum from this goal, or if, you know, we see a lot more come out from the side of Grays Creek. Oh, there's Real World flipping it to themselves. Going to get stopped, but again, VESL in the position needed to get that ball back. And then trying to set up as well. Getting back a little bit on defense. The ball's going a little bit in front of goal. VESL should set it up right in the center. Real World gets a touch on it, but it will be stopped from the side of JP Nap just at the moment. 2 minutes left in the game, so plenty of time for both teams to score. Finally getting it onto the side of Grace Creek. Can they find a goal number 2? They're looking for it, but can he get the jump up there? Just not enough.
Yeah, 2 minutes left. It's feeling like JP Nap has to find a miracle here, but VESL, Real World will continue their offensive pressure. Looks like another setup. Oh, the little flip off the car. It's not going to go in, and great defense there from Raw to stop that from going in. Mopi going to see if they can take advantage of the situation after the demo comes out, but no, Real World already in position. Push it down.
Little subtle touches to try to keep it on their side. VESL going to pick it up in the air. Try to see if they can redirect it towards a teammate possibly, but Raw will stop the attack for the time being, but overshoots a little bit. Real World gets on top of his car. A little flick to themselves. VESL going to pick it up, do some nice little acrobatics, and score once again. And there's the skill that we're so accustomed to seeing. Picks it up, and then a teammate to finish.
I mean, he just flipped it up at the perfect angle, get the ball into control, follows it up with the boost flip into the tap in. Beautiful stuff that we're seeing here. These guys spend a lot of time in training mode, I can tell you that, because they have such good car control.
And again, it's just the utilization of teammates is what's really coming down to it. It's no one's selfish. No one has to be the lone hero of this team. And this level of team play is what we want to see. Oh, a nice stop by Mid. Stopping goal number 2 from Raw. And there it is. VESL doing, oh, look at these flips into it. Getting just the touches they needed from those tires and enough boost to get them in at the end there. Real World just kind of watching their teammate go along with it to be the backup just in case it was a small touch from the side JP Nap, but it's not needed. And 40 seconds left, 6-1, game is all but over at this moment. But of course, as you said, that goal difference for Grace Creek, they want to keep scoring as much as possible.
For sure. I mean, that was just such a clean goal from VESL. I'll have to take a look at that again later, but for now, 20 seconds left. Can they get another one on the board to further cement their spot atop the leaderboard here? Looks like it will be saved for now. JP Nap trying not to allow too many here.
All right, they're going to see if they can set up. 8 seconds left, but we saw them score in the last couple of seconds of the last one, but it should touch ground here. Or should it? It's in the air. Okay, good save there from Raw. We'll stop that game. But Grace Creek 6-1. Now look at this. Real World, who was on the opposite end in game number 2, says, you know what? I can get 700 points as well. 4 goals, 4 shots, 1 save. But again, as you said, on this Grace Creek team, it's just a matter of the game. Who's going to come up on top? It could be any one of the 3.
It does feel like they're very evenly distributed in skill, and that's what makes a good Rocket League team. They have a lot of cohesion. They all have very similar capabilities. It feels like they think about the game in a very similar way as well, because they are able to set up plays for each other constantly in different situations. Their communication must also be quite good. So it's going to be interesting to see who could possibly test them in future games. In a short second here, we'll take a look at the leaderboard to see who else is near the top of that leaderboard. But, I mean, yeah, Nin didn't really have to do anything that game. I mean, he did just enough. He was just kind of playing on defense. But here we go. We've got to take a look at the leaderboard. Grace Creek now 5-0. Cedar Ridge also 5-0, but have dropped 1 less game, only dropped 1 game period, while Grace Creek and Northside Onslow, who's also undefeated, have dropped 2. And then going down, taking a look at that cutoff range, this could get interesting, right? Because we have 6 teams that are all at 4-1. So this is the last week of competition, going to be finally what could produce some separation. But this is why we keep talking about those goals and the game difference, right? Because if 2 teams have the same record and they're tied on the cutoff, like we see Durham Arts and Pine Forest, then it's going to come down to goals, because they not only have the same score record, but also the same game record. And goals end up being the tiebreaker, which will probably happen here.
And it's so important. But look, as you said, those teams that are currently 3-2 as well have the potential to make it if they can win in week 6. So, the ones that are sitting 4-1, the ones with the higher game win loss, of course, will be listing a little prettier. But, Durham Arts, Pine Forest have to be a little careful. 12-5, whereas a team like Havelock is 12-7. But then you also have 10-6. So they win 2 more, don't drop any, and then a potential 2 loss for Havelock could put them underneath, or even Pine Forest as well. So you have to be a little careful, score as many goals as possible, and let in as least as possible as well. So we see, this one here, teams like JP Knapp, Hope County A, unfortunately, are going to be out at this moment, unable to get up, can't make it back from that moment. But those teams that are, 3-2, keep it open. Week 6 could be your time to shine and possibly make that top 8 for the conference championship as well. But I'm really interested to see those top 3 teams, if they play each other, or who's going to play each other possibly in week 6 to get that better seeding as well. Maybe even an upset possibly for one of those could, determine who's going to get that first spot going into the conference championship. So I'm excited to see it. We had some great games this week, so week 6 is probably going to be a banger.
I think you're exactly right. There's going to be a ton of competition in week 6, as all these teams should be putting forth their very best effort to end the season as best they possibly can, give themselves a best chance to go to the conference championship, potentially even the state championship. And I guess just a quick overview of how that works. The conference championship for all games but Smash, only 1 team will automatically go straight to states. In Smash, there's 2 that will go automatically straight to states. But then after that, we have a wild card weekend where 1 more team from all the conferences can qualify through. So it's going to be the best of each conference plus the wild card. So the top 4 will face off at the state championship. It's going to be extremely exciting. Make sure you guys are doing everything you can to get there. If you don't get there, at least watch it and keep up to date with it. It's going to be a lot of fun. But there's not much more else to say. All that I've got to say is the next week is going to be super exciting. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Next stream is going to be Friday for week 6, so don't miss that. Otherwise, everybody enjoy the rest of your day.